This version of It's Erik Nagel has been modified from its original broadcast. Content has been edited to fit this platform.
A message for the ladies and gentlemen around the world and all the ships at sea.
We all make choices, but in the end, our choices make us.
So choose wisely. Subscribe to It's Erik Nagel wherever shows are found, on whatever platform you choose. And as always, leave us a positive review. Would you kindly?
Like, is everything I do, like, picking up on there or no?
Everything you do it for you.
Is that another song?
Okay, Bryan Adams.
Yep.
Who's Bryan Adams?
What?
Uh-oh.
You don't know who Bryan Adams is?
No, did I mess up? Who is this guy?
You remember Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, Kevin Costner?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did the song Everything I Do It For You. It was Bryan Adams.
He was a big name.
Who else did that?
I gotta look it up.
Everything I do it for you.
Oh, that does sound really familiar.
Because
Bryan Adams.
Bryan Adams did the original version. Then he did it as I think it was a trio for the movie.
Ska song?
A ska song?
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. I made that up. It'd be hard.
I'm sure there is one.
Everything I do, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
Oh, no.
I do it for you. Hip, hip, hoop.
This must not be what I'm thinking. I guess it's just him. I for some reason, I thought for the movie he did it with two other people.
Nope.
Nope.
Nothing I know of.
Everything
BRB.
I do it for you. And Brian just walked out on me.
He's like, okay, bye. You started singing. I'm gonna leave.
It's Erik Nagel. And it starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen of the universe, the next voice you hear.
It's Erik Nagel.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of It's Erik Nagel, and that is me. And over in the Upside Down, that would be Gittles.
Hey, what's up, good sir?
He didn't die this time. Hurrah.
Die this time.
Over out in sunny Los Angeles, California, that would be our pal Zia Anderson.
Hello, hello. It is sunny. It's hot as shit over here.
Yeah, it's pretty humid over here too. And you may be surprised to hear no technical issues.
Oh my god.
Now that I said that, the show's going to go downhill in a screaming fireball. But for the time being, for the moments that you got to hear, her studio's all set, Gittles' studio's set, my studio's set. We are all set to go.
I feel like a kid with a new toy with my new mic. I feel so fancy. I got it and I was like, oh my god, it's so pretty. I just want to pet it.
It is nice.
It's nice.
You got like the nice like hand like thing on it that's like holding it up. It looks nice.
The nice arm.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, the arm. That's what it's called.
And the mic looks like the monolith from 2001: A Space Odyssey. There should be monkeys breaking bones and chanting all around it.
Yeah.
Follow
I'll get
the
that
show
next time.
on social media if you can. It's Erik Nagel across the board. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We've been doing a lot of work on the YouTube channel there to make it all nice looking and attract more business over there. And the subscribers are actually going up. So thank you, kind listener, for doing so. If you have not subscribed yet, go over there, click the subscribe button. And unlike the other channels, which this is probably going to be very detrimental to the business model, I'm not telling you to click the dumb bell and the notification so that you know every time we put something up right. And Gittles, every time we have that bell on, Gittles is going to call you up on your phone and just go bing and then hang up. Who wants that?
Yeah, I mean, I will do that. We do have every single person's phone number on here who's called.
Exactly.
So I will call you back and I'll be like, bing, new content. And then you'll be like, hey, what's up, Gittles? And I'll be like, hey, what's going on? And then
And they'll be like, did you just say nude content? Oh my God, I should have subscribed before. Yes, maybe nude content. I don't know. You'll never know unless you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Click the button.
there is zero nude content on the YouTube channel.
Now, with that attitude,
we're trying to get viewers, Eric.
Yeah, nude content. That's what's going to get all the viewers there. It won't be us.
Only
It'll just
from both of you.
No, it's not going to be us. I'll just find random people's stuff that I'll just pilfer and put on our channel.
Whatever we got to do.
Just like they do on the YouTube.
The YouTube.
So no notifications, no little bell thing. We're not going to spam you. We don't even want to talk to you through the group chat and the boards and all those things. Just subscribe, set it, forget it, and help us out that way. Actually, no, don't just set and forget. If you want to interact, watch all the fine programming that's on there. It's actually just audio with pictures, but you'll enjoy it nonetheless. And tell
also,
a bunch
like,
of friends.
if you want to subscribe, you could totally do it.
Yeah, if you feel like that's where your life has come to at this point and you need to subscribe, then we're not going to stand in your way. We'll just give you like a side-eyed glance, but do what you got to do. Thanks. Now, with that being said, phone line is open, 651-SMITHERS, 651-764-8437 to call, and if you want to talk to anybody here on the program. Lots to do, as always, and look, we're wrapping up the summer here in the Northeast of the United States, the Northern Hemisphere, if you will, if you're listening. I found out we have a lot of people that do listen to the show in Australia, and guess what? It's fucking winter there. Ha ha. But if you're listening to us now, we're wrapping up the summer, and our fall and winter are going to vastly approach sooner than we know it. But for now, other than next week's D23 convention for Disney with all their big, probably final announcements before they launch Disney+, there's not a whole hell of a lot going on. A lot of back-to-school stuff. They're teasing the Emmys, which no one gives a shit about here. And that's it. You're not even seeing the trailers for new TV shows or for movies and anything. Probably not until, one, Disney makes their announcements, or two, after Labor Day when the rest of the broadcasting world catches up and says, oh, everyone's back to work and on a normal schedule. Now we'll put these things out. So we're going to find a few things to update you with. We have some here, but it's not like the usual mass haul where we have so much stuff and trailers and what have you. Pretty much we're grasping at straws. No, we're not. We've got a lot of good stuff here.
A lot of stuff coming out. I saw some pictures from movies coming out and some bunch of things that look really good. So there's some good stuff.
Was this all in your head?
No.
Okay, these are real things.
Yes.
Okay. Sometimes
have you heard of the movie Guns Akimbo, Eric?
Is that a real thing, or is this all in your head?
That is a real movie.
Now I need to know, what is Guns Akimbo?
Yes, please tell me.
It's Daniel Radcliffe, and he stars in a post-apocalyptic world where people have to fight to the death on live TV while people in other countries bet on it.
So it's Harry Potter with guns?
It's Harry Potter meets Battle Royale.
Yeah, you had me with Daniel Radcliffe, and I'm absolutely why. Is this out now? When does this come out?
Coming out. They just released the first trailer for it today, and it was Daniel Radcliffe looking like Nicolas Cage crazy with a gun. So I'm...
That's so exciting.
What platform is this?
I think it's called a movie, Eric.
No, it's in the theaters.
Yeah, it's like a movie that's coming out. It's like all this stuff that came out during like Fantasia Fest this last weekend. So there's like a whole bunch of stuff that I saw like that. It's interesting.
All right, forgive me, because the premise of the movie and everything you described normally didn't sound like a movie that would go into the theater. This sounded like some kind of streaming exclusive that I was really excited for. But it's actually going to be in the theater. So now I'm going to have to go to a movie theater and watch Harry Potter and the AK-47 or whatever it's called.
Yeah, if you can actually get through a movie without something happening. I'm still waiting for that day.
Yeah.
I don't think Eric will ever have a movie experience where it's like you go to the movie and then you see it and then you leave. Like, I don't think that's like ever gonna happen for Eric. I think it's either he gets there and then he doesn't see it, or he gets there and he starts to see it and then it doesn't finish, or then there's like a fire alert or a moose runs into the theater. Sometimes a boat flies through the screen. Like, Eric does not get to see a movie.
Remember that time the boat did fly through the screen and everyone thought like, wow, IMAX really kicks ass? And it's like, no, it was a boat.
During Speed 2, it was great.
There were 6 dead. One guy was in a wheelchair. It was horrible.
Yeah, it happens.
But I got my ticket like they always do, and they say, please come back for another movie on us. And that's usually how it goes. I'm seeing all these movies on the same make good ticket that they've given me 2 years ago. Because every time I go...
haven't spent any money on a ticket in like years.
On a ticket, no. On a beverage, yes. But walking in, it's like, look, trying it again. And even the poor girl that hands out the glasses for the IMAX stuff, and she's just shaking her head, and she goes, why do you put yourself through this? And I said, I don't know. Why do you put yourself through this? She's like, I'm paid to be here. I said, that is true. And then I go into the movie, and then 45 minutes later, she's like, bathroom's over there. Here's your ticket. And then I leave. It's a routine. But anyway, how have you guys been? Let's talk about you and your lives and make it about you for once. Gittles, how are you?
I'm all right. Can't really complain.
How are your ventures through the city in this summer?
Actually, I took a really long venture on Sunday because I was very bored.
Was it a rusty venture?
What's up?
Was it a rusty venture?
No.
Okay.
But there might have been villains along the way.
Nice.
So my friends were going, I was staying out of my friends in Long Beach, and they were driving into the city, and they were going out to Staten Island. They were like, I can't really drive you to your apartment, but we could drop you off in Bay Ridge. It's closer than having to take, the Long Island Railroad from Long Island. And I was like, okay, it's cool. So
in the city you call Long Beach, get your shit together with your homie DOC. Nobody does it better. I just ruined your story.
So I got dropped off in Bay Ridge. I have no idea what you're talking about, Eric. What was that?
That was Dr. Dre. Next episode. Like this, that, and this, and like that, and like this, and like that, and like this. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I just didn't realize the verse out of context. I was very confused.
Yes, I ruined stories. But anyway, continue.
But yeah, I walked from the Verrazano Bridge to my apartment in Greenpoint.
That is a long fucking walk.
It's about 12 and a half miles.
Holy crap.
And,
how long did that take you?
It was fun. It took me like 5 hours.
Oh.
Five and a half hours. I stopped at places. Like I took pictures. I wandered around. Got a bunch of coffees.
So did your friend drop you off there? Or did he just kind of like, open the door and you had to tuck and roll?
Well, tuck and roll. I mean, I do have a lot of wounds.
Yes.
But, you gotta do what you gotta do. Anything to save $10 on the Long Island Railroad.
Right.
So that was an adventure I went on, and it was really cool. Walked through a whole bunch of different neighborhoods, got to eat some interesting foods along the way. Then I got home and I sat down and I fell asleep immediately. My body was like, yo, you are taking a nap.
And then I woke up and it was Sunday.
Yeah, and then I woke up and then they were like, hey, we're going to pave the road in front of your house at midnight. So I haven't slept right all week, so I'm kind of out of it. But it's fun. I'm drinking a beer. I'm catching up. We'll get there.
Gittles posted a video. So the city decided to, because he's in Brooklyn, part of Manhattan, New York City's 5 boroughs for everybody who doesn't live in this area, so they know. Now you know. So the city, New York City, is now redoing all the roads near Gittles' apartment. And Gittles posted a video, I think, on your Instagram, was it?
On my Instagram.
The machine that they're using to rip up the road, not even pave it, they have the machine that's going through, looks, I don't remember what sci-fi movie it reminds me of. Is it something from Terminator? Is it something from, it looks like something that comes down and changes the terraform of a planet.
Really
it was just like a giant like road stripper thing.
Yeah.
But it just was weird. I was outside.
It was up like here. Like here's the treads like you would have for a tank, right? And then the machine itself is propped up way above it, and then there's stuff under it that's doing all the maniacal stuff.
The maniacal stuff of ripping up, tearing up that asphalt, and then it's just shooting it over like up this like. It's so weird because it's like a conveyor belt that shoots it in front of the truck where it collects in like a bin in front of it. Anyway, it's the loudest machine on earth. Like my whole room is shaking, and like it looks like Jurassic Park looking at the water. Like, oh fuck, they're tearing up the roads, or a T-Rex is about to eat me. It's one or the other.
As he's taping out the window, a giant eyeball comes right in front of the window.
Right, and so I go outside and I'm watching them do this, and like. Almost all the people who are doing it are wearing some sort of gas mask and stuff. I'm like, maybe should I be wearing a gas mask as well since I'm outside? But they didn't say anything. They just kind of made a mark on a notepad and walked away. And I was like, all right, I guess that's where they'll come pick me up.
Well, yeah, they're basically saying, oh, this guy's going to die. We need to hide his body. So let's remember this one.
Exactly. Let's just pave over him. Like a kid cleaning the room, just sweep it under the rug. Be like, oh, they put a new speed bump on this road, and it looks like Brian.
It's interesting when that machine's ripping up the road, right? So if you've, I'm sure everyone's seen it, but if you've been on a road where they rip it up and they haven't paved it yet, it's like a lot of grooves, right? But then you have like the storm grates or a manhole cover or something that's about 3 to 4 inches above what's now the road. So if you hit that thing, it destroys your tire or the jack of your car or whatever. How does that machine dig all around the asphalt and not hit those things?
What it does is it does hit it, and then it just goes boof, and it makes an even louder thump, and it just shakes the ground even more.
So when metal hits metal to grind, it turns into a sonic boom.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I was expecting just to get hit in the face with rocks or like sparks or something, but no, they were out there, and you know what they did? They tore up the road, and they haven't paved it yet. It's just a disgusting torn up road. It's like the Old West in front of my apartment here. It's just like, there's horses out here, tumbleweeds now. There's a saloon. Like, it's the Old West again. It's crazy. It's like Red Dead Redemption 3, back to Brooklyn.
There's a guy dragging a body with a rope behind a horse.
Yeah, and he's like, it's for the bounty. And I'm like, I don't even know what that means, sir. I'm just trying to pet this stray cat.
Yeah, Gittles walked outside with his garbage, put it in the garbage can, and all of a sudden, bam, he's hearing sirens, and it's like, he's a witness. He's wanted for something. It's like, I just took the garbage out. Now you got to go find the witness, kill the witness.
Yeah, that's Red Dead. That's why I stopped playing Red Dead Redemption. Every time I sneezed, it was like, oh, someone died, and now you're the witness. I'm like, oh, fuck.
And I gotta get out of here. Every time he rounds the corner to go to work, there's always duels.
Ugh, like, every day.
How many people are being disrespected that are just going around the corner? That's where all the duels happen.
Well, I mean, I live in Brooklyn. Lots of people are being disrespected. There's lots of duels, Eric.
Horrible. Zia,
but yeah, that was my life story for the week. It was very loud, and it's a really gravelly, pavementy road in front of my apartment now.
What were you going to say,
Are they just going
Zia?
to leave it like that?
Yeah, they're just going to leave it like that. Eventually, like, the dirt will fill it in, and we'll have a new road. It's the circle of life.
Or it'll be like how I grew up in Hawaii, where we actually had dirt roads with potholes. It's fun when you're like riding your bike and stuff. Yeah, it's cool. You get to play in the mud puddles. The saloon part sounds really cool. Just hang out there. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm going to go there. I'm going to be like, like pull up on a stray cat, like tie it up to the little hitching post outside and like walk in and be like, yo, what's up, homies? And they'll be like, yo, what's up, Brian? And be like, yay.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
the story.
Sounds like a fun time.
Ridiculous.
That's my saloon.
Well, when you had the dirt roads in Hawaii, I mean, they would just get paved every time a volcano erupted, right?
That's true. And then they would, slowly break down into just a bunch of like dirt and potholes and gravel, and we played in the mud. It was cool.
Hey, we have a new Main Street again.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta wait. We gotta wait a couple weeks till it cools down, and then they paint it.
We actually did have this one big hill that we would ride our bikes down because it was all dirt around it except for one strip two strips where you could drive your tires that they paved. I don't know if it was just someone in the neighborhood paved it because it wasn't done very well, but we'd ride our bikes down just those two strips of pavement going down the hill. And that was all we had in the whole neighborhood.
My God. Is this the slums of Hawaii? Like, is this all of Hawaii? Like, where was it?
No, this is the slums. It's called Hawaiian Acres.
This was the wrong side of the volcano.
Hawaiian Acres? Like, I'm picturing like a weird like picket fence in front, like, welcome to Hawaiian Acres. And it's just a bunch of people eating pineapples.
I wish there was picket fences. No. There's a lot of pot growers and people living in tents. There were some like nice houses, but it's where we lived when we were super poor.
Dude, never go to the south side of the volcano, man. That's a sketchy area.
Yeah, seriously, man.
It's where you get shanked by lava shards and stuff. So
we're on the north side of the volcano. It's where they shot Lost.
Exactly. That's where the pineapple.
Where they give a schist. Hey,
But anyway, so Brian's walking around his urban jungle, and it's being rebuilt as it goes. Oh, one thing that you're gonna have to deal with now, because
what am I gonna have to deal with, Eric?
So now they pave at night. So they're going to mix all that stuff, and you're just going to smell hot tar.
Awesome.
For the next few days as they try to pave that road. And then as that road is cooling during the day, when the sun's beating down on it, you smell it again. Because you get that, you have the blacktop, but then you have like the goo, I guess, the tar around the tar around the edges of it. That all of a sudden it gets mushy, and then you see shit like that will be forever entombed, like a bottle cap, a footprint, rocks.
Yeah, like a poker chip for some reason. There's always a poker chip stuck
a rat
in
leg.
How did that get there?
Yeah.
A dog. Grandma,
I know all this weird shit, and you're gonna have to smell all of that for the next couple of days. Sucks to be you.
Yeah, whatever. It happens.
Zia,
this is what the things you gotta deal with to have a new road that I can drive my nothing on.
If I had a car one day, that would be the road to drive it on.
Oh, it'd be so nice. I imagine, like, maybe I'll get a scooter, like one of those little, like, razor scooters, and I'll just ride up and down it. And they'll be like, Brian, why are you doing that? Because they fucking paved it, and I'm using my tax dollars.
Because it's there. Yeah, you get one of those city bikes.
Yeah, I mean, they're right down the street. I can get a city bike and just do laps.
Yeah, and then when you're done, you throw it over by that bridge that's near you, and it doesn't cost you a dime.
Done.
Stupid Chase
Sold.
Bank. Zia, how you doing? How's things in LA?
Same old, same old. I realize that I'm getting super old because now the things that I think about in my free time, and it just bums me out really, is that I am trying to figure out a way to consolidate my debt. And I realized that I'm probably not going to get a very good like interest rate on my loan. So is it even worth doing it? But it's just, I don't know. It's one of those messes. However, I did get my first fan mail / packages, and that was really weird and cool.
Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What was in it?
How did they know where you live?
I got a P.O. box.
Oh, smart.
I got a P.O. box because people have been trying to send me stuff, and I was like, all right, fine, I'll just go ahead and get one because this one dude was like really trying.
Why are people trying to send you stuff?
I don't know. People just want to do that.
Oh, you know why, Gittles? She's a girl on the internet.
That's why.
That's why.
I guess that is why. Yeah.
No one says
I
Gittles anything because he's on the internet, and he's, sometimes, no offense, yeah, sometimes he's got better outfits on.
Let me tell you something.
That's
People
true.
send me shit all the time. It's like, die, I hate you. It's awesome. It's all lovely.
But do you have a P.O. box for that?
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. It goes to it's much better when it's like, cut out letters from a magazine.
Yeah,
it's so much better.
Layered,
It's personal.
layered construction paper glued together, macaroni, glitter.
Every once in a while, there's a bomb in there, and you're just like, oh, haha, thanks, guys.
Exactly. I can count on my 7 fingers how many times that's happened.
Oh, now I'm scared because I said that.
So somebody sent you a gift. Do you
Yeah,
know
I
this
got the
person?
sealed
How are
book.
they a fan of you? From one of your other
From-
projects, or?
Yes, from Marvel Movie News, they're a listener.
Okay.
And he is my self-proclaimed biggest fan. I'm like, okay, sure. So he
Do you
sent
know
me
how
this-
old this person is? I'm just curious.
He looks to be around my age, maybe a little older, maybe a little younger. I can't tell.
Okay.
He's got engaged, and his fiance now. This is an interesting dude. I actually talked to him quite a bit because he's an interesting guy. His fiance has like 3 or 4 other girlfriends, and other boyfriends. I'm sorry, other boyfriends, and that's like his thing. She's got one boyfriend, she's got one boyfriend that comes to town every so often, about once a month, and they get a hotel and stay somewhere else, and he usually ends up paying for the hotel.
I
them.
hate this term
What?
because everybody overuses it and it's lost all meaning. But
Like a cuck?
yeah, he's a cuck.
Yeah, he's super into
Is
it.
that what that means? I never knew what that word meant.
Cuck
I always
is
thought
short-
it was somebody making a really bad chicken impression.
Cuck is short for cuckold, and it's a guy who enjoys his wife dating other men, getting banged by other men. Sometimes he's watching, or sometimes he just likes the fantasy of that she's out with other people, but she comes home to him. That kind of
interesting.
thing. Yeah.
Yep.
It's also pathetic and sad. But, so this guy's a cuck. He's into cuck stuff, and he's sending you cuck gifts.
Yes, but I can't complain because it's the steel book of Avengers Endgame. So awesome. I'll
Sure.
take it. Yeah. It's
So
cool. I
what
probably
And all
won't
you have to do is do nothing in response, right? Like,
That's what
a
I was
free
just going to
gift.
ask.
That
What
sounds
do you
pretty
have to
good.
do in return?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nope, that's it. He just wants to. He got me some stuff from Victoria's Secret too that hasn't come yet.
Okay,
Yo,
that's...
I'm gonna get a PO box. We should all get PO boxes and
use the
all
show
say
P.O.
we're all
box.
Zia.
Use the show P.O.
And then
box.
And they could just mail us stuff for her.
Yes.
And we could open it. Like
If
Secret
anybody
Santas.
wants to send Zia some nice stuff, send it to Zia, that's Xia, care of It's Erik Nagel, P.O. Box
Care of Gittles,
1184, Secaucus, New Jersey, 07096.
You're not supposed to
make
give your
sure-
real address, Eric.
That's the P.O. Box for the show. It's public. It's not
make sure
private,
it's-
Brian. It's public for everyone to send us, send Zia gifts.
There.
Me.
Now you know. That's right. Correct. Thank you.
Just make sure it's a lot of lingerie that these guys can try on.
Okay.
I can try on for photos, and
Wait, so
We'll
what's
put 'em out there for you guys?
So you don't have to do any.
That was the only thing you've ever gotten so far, like just
Yes,
that.
so far that's it.
Okay.
Another like podcast company or whatever wants to send me some of their merch to wear, and I was like, yeah,
That's
sure.
different though. That's like a.
That's different.
That's a
yeah.
company
Yeah, it's like
thing.
advertising.
That's like a cross branding thing. It's when a guy finds that you have an Amazon wish list. Oh, by the way, so was this like an Amazon wish list kind of thing?
Nope, I don't even have one, but I'm gonna get one.
Got to put the PO box on there so that
Yep.
that information, that your real info, doesn't go out. But in those kind of situations, because over the years we've had so many girls from all walks of life on this show, the old show I used to do, where they were porn stars, they were cam girls, they were just, or even like lower, tamer stuff as cosplayers, or even just some kind of basic modeling, where guys act, no matter where they are in the women are in that kind of spectrum of far as what they do online, guys will act the same way to them. They'll try to pay for pictures, they'll try to do weird, creepy things, and they send gifts. I've known plenty of girls that have said, "Oh yeah, guys, just send me this nonsense."
Yep.
I don't get it, but I mean, to each their own. Good for them. I mean, they're not like whoring themselves out. Well, some of them do for a living, but
Wow.
the rest of them aren't whoring themselves out. They just got guys that are, I guess, have expendable income and desperately lonely, that want to just send you gifts in order to make you smile. So it's some sort of fulfillment for them, like you're their girlfriend.
Yeah, I think there's actually also websites for that where you just have guys that want to spend money on.
Yeah, there's
girls
sugar
and
daddy
things.
sites and apps
Yeah,
and stuff like that. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I forget which. There was, because where I work at the other place, at Compound Media, there's a whole bunch of shows on there, and they always have different comics on a lot of the different shows. And one female comedian was on one of the, probably morning, but one of the girls was on, female comic was on one of the shows. And I remember hearing her talk about that she's on some app for like sugar daddy stuff, and it's just guys that come into town, take them on shopping sprees, and send them gifts and things like that. Now, I don't know if she does anything in return. It was not discussed like that, nor is that my business. But women could just not have to. If you're of modest beauty level, you don't have to do anything with your life in today's world. Guys will just take care of you.
Yeah, it's so weird. And there's so many guys out there that are into that. When I discovered the world of financial domination too, I was like, wait, this is a real thing. Like, women just treat men like shit, demand money from them, and basically they call them like pay pigs or whatever it is. And men get off on just that. Like, that's it. There's no other sexual thing going on. They just give them money. I'm
Like,
what the
that's
fuck?
just crazy. Like, so people would just be like, yo, here's $100. Call me a piece of shit, kick me in the balls, and that's all I want.
No, not even kick me in the balls. Half the time, you don't even meet these guys. It's just basically
Gittles, it's
demand
just,
this
hey,
money.
what's your Venmo? Here,
Exactly.
why? I just sent you $700. Okay, thanks. And now he's getting off on the fact that he gave them money. Is that correct?
My
Yep.
God, I need to get into this.
Yep.
Gittles
I
needs
know.
some.
How do I, not the giving away the money part, the getting the money
No,
part.
Gittles
How do I
needs
get
some.
them-
What do they
How
call?
do I get on the screen?
Not prize
Boobs.
pigs. That's radio stuff. What was it called?
It's I think cash pigs,
Cash
something
pigs.
like that.
Gittles needs some cash pigs. Reach out to Gittle Base on all the social media platforms, and he will give you his Venmo or PayPal information. If you wish to be a cash pig for Gittles, we are soliciting right now as we speak.
I will not turn away any money.
Good for you. So Zia, so he said, so you got this Steelbook edition of Avengers Endgame, which just came out. What other gifts have you received in the past?
Nothing yet. That was my first one. And then I got a thing from Victoria's Secret, and he was talking about getting me something. He wanted to know what kind of clothes I liked, and I have one company, Black Milk, that I was like, I just like pretty much everything they have. And so I think he was getting me something from there too.
Did he ask you for sizes and stuff?
Yes.
You're playing right into their hands.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, no, if you're fine with it, I mean, that's fine. As long as you're aware of what you're
be
doing.
careful. Like, some of these people are crazy. Probably.
Oh yeah, no, I had another guy try to like say he was going to offer to pay my rent, and like,
I've
pay
heard
my
that
phone
too.
bill.
I've heard women talk
Yeah.
about that guys will just pay their rent. So when they come into the city, they hang out for a little bit, but then they keep them kept for the whole year.
Exactly. But this dude, he wanted like photos and stuff. And I kind of went along with it a little bit just to see how far it would go. But then he sent me a video of his dick. And I was like, all right, just kidding. So he
said just kidding after sending the dick, or you just said?
No, I did. I
okay.
did. I was like, I'm obviously not going to go into these territories because
seriously, that's fucked up.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Let's clarify something here. So you're not doing this anymore.
What do you mean?
The photos.
No.
Okay.
No.
What were they very tame, or was he like a foot weirdo, or what was he?
Just normal stuff. One was just a selfie. Stuff I would normally post. Nothing crazy. Like just regular stuff. He asked me like what I would be comfortable with, and I was like, I mean, no lingerie, like nothing of me, even though I do post stuff in my underwear on Instagram. So like it doesn't really matter.
You do?
All
right, I'm going to Instagram.
You've seen them.
I have?
I think.
Okay.
Eric's like, hold on a second. I'm going to add you on the Instagram.
Because I don't know, I'm pretty like open and comfortable with my body. I grew up in Hawaii, and I know I bring that up a lot, but it matters just in this sense because I grew up in bathing suits. I didn't wear a lot of clothes. I don't really like clothes. I'm pretty comfortable and like free with show. Like I don't care.
Are you one of those barefoot people?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Not anymore. I have probably the most howly feet in the world at this point. I would be scared to go home and try to walk on lava.
Now you're going to get even more. You're just soliciting more people now by saying these things because now you're going to get.
You know how much they're going to pay to see you walk on lava rocks? Holy shit! You're going to make like $4,000 a toe.
I do that no problem.
Can you walk around for a while without socks and then just take photos of your feet as they're sweaty and dirty? That's what the shit you're going to get now.
Sure thing. You got it, buddy.
No, I don't want that. That's one of the most disgusting things. No. If I would never talk to you again if that's what you sent me. That's worse than a dick pic. It's like, just get that shit away from me. But you know, like if you know, we're all very internet savvy. If you type in any actress's name, like if you like, what is she? Oh, that's her. What other movie was she in? So if you don't go directly to IMDb, you just do a Google search and type in any actress's name or any female with even the most minimalist amount of celebrity cachet. The second or third Google search on there is always feet.
Always feet.
Always feet. And it's so weird.
I know that's a big thing. Like I know a lot of dudes really like that. They're really into feet.
They are. We had when we started the show in our first year, we had our pal Lisa Correo, who was a stand-up comedian. She did a show she was on Nickelodeon show for a while too.
Nice.
But we found out in that first year, she was talking about it. The Celebrity Wiki Feet website, she's on there because somebody was screen capping the one scene she did on this Nickelodeon show where she wasn't wearing any, like they were in clouds or something, or in the netherworld or something like that. And she's walking around without any shoes. And somebody screen capped her feet and made a whole profile for her on Celebrity Wiki or Celebrity Feet. I forgot what it's called. You can find it, just do a little Googling. But yeah, so this is where we found out that there's a celebrity foot fetish site. It's like Wikipedia, but just for actresses' feet.
That's so weird.
Isn't it? It's disgusting. Yes. I'm not a foot person. Now, I know a lot of guys out there are probably saying, oh, come on, if she's a really hot chick, you're going to care about her feet. Yeah, kind of. I would just keep the socks on, and I'm good. I don't ruin the image for me.
Can you have sex with someone with their socks on? Because to me that's super weird. Yeah?
Oh yeah.
That's so weird.
I mean, it's weird, but who gives a shit? It sucks.
I think, look, if you're at that point, I don't think you're going to care what they're wearing or what they're not. But like if you're with somebody for a while, or you know, it's like, oh, it's Saturday morning, pull down the sweatpants and go to it, and you're half dressed, half not. Who gives a fuck?
Well, yeah, that. But I'm just more picturing when you're fully naked and like you're doing it, but they've kept their socks on.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait,
sounds like an experiment.
Why did you keep your socks on? Yeah, it does. Like,
in case of fire and I have to run out of the house,
my tootsies get cold.
My feet in my shoes.
I'm bigger than you. They dangle off the end of the bed. You have blankets.
Cold.
I don't know.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe for traction.
Yeah, for traction.
Yeah.
Socks for traction. I never thought I'd ever
You've got
hear
those
that.
tote slippers with the grip stuff on it.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're-
It's the-
you're pressing
Christmas
against the
gift
wall.
you get from the relative who doesn't know you. Tote
Your,
slippers.
your legs are spider walking up the wall to get that perfect angle to go
Or
deep.
like Tobbies, what you wear when you go diving. Is like they have like grips on the bottom so that you can walk on rock and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's worse, if they're wearing socks when you're gonna have sex, or if they're wearing those shoes that have the toes outlined in it?
Ugh, the Vibram.
That would be weird.
Like if
Someone's just wearing just the toes,
Like
like,
if she-
beach sandals.
if say
and bang.
so
That's
say a
fucking
girl,
weird.
you bring a girl home, right? And you didn't notice for the whole evening that she was wearing those shoes. But like, say you have the girl come on, she's wearing a dress and like a tank top or something. It's easy to come off and slide down. She doesn't really have to take the shoes off to remove the entire outfit. So, but that's how she wants to do it, and she's keeping them on. Now, is that cool, or is that really creepy that she has the finger toes?
I feel like that's a situation I'd have to be thrown into and then decide at the moment. Because I honestly can't tell. Because I'm like, part of me is like, that's kind of weird, but part of me is like, I don't know, it might be kind of cool.
Or just like has to be that part where it's like, well, it's still sex, so
Exactly.
Like, how do you? I also find it super weird that people don't take their shoes off in houses. So just going into a house and not taking your shoes off to begin with is to me kind of strange still.
Yeah, like I don't take my shoes off when I go in houses. I don't take my shoes off ever. I walk on my bed with my shoes. I walk on everyone else's couches. Like I don't care.
What's wrong with your feet, Gittles?
No, I'm just kidding. I don't walk on couches. But I didn't grow up in a house where we took our shoes off.
Yeah,
so
I
just
didn't
never got-
either until
I have friends who are like that, and like the second they come into my house, they take their shoes off, and then every time they get up to do something, they put their shoes on, and it's like I'm like I don't understand this.
I was that way too. I like Gittles. I grew up in a household where it didn't matter if you had your shoes on walking through the house or not. But it's when I moved to New York City and would go walking through the city and whatever, and then come back to the apartment, and then I realized where I was just walking, and now I have the mental photo. Like out in the suburbs, you're walking your driveway, maybe the lawn into your car. You're not really walking anywhere of that overly disgusting. But when you're in the city, you get to your house and you go, oh, everything I just walked through, I don't want that all through my house. So I will once I got my own place, and since then, I'll get into the house, I'll take my shoes off before walking through the rest of the house. Because now I have the visualization, now I understand it, and that it's fucking gross.
Oh yeah, there's literally human shit on the streets where I'm walking, and I know
There
it.
is?
Yes, the homeless situation in LA is getting so bad.
The homeless
Dude, homeless
situation
people
in
will
New
shit
York.
anywhere. They don't give a fuck.
The homeless situation in New York has gotten really bad because our mayor fucking sucks. Where the compound studio is, all around, and we got Times Square, we got Penn Station, we got Macy's, we got all this. Every block now, it's not even just there's one guy there and maybe one guy down there. They're all over the place. There's one Jamaican Rastafarian dude where he had full dreads and everything. He's just wearing black cutoff shorts, no shirt, no shoes, nothing. Laying
No service.
not even on cardboard. He's just laying down, and his head's not even against the wall of a building. His head's down where the street meets the building, so he's laying perpendicular like this. And then just laying flat out into the sidewalk where everybody's walking. So now they're walking around this guy just because he's laying there sleeping.
Jeez.
And then I put on my Instagram today, if you want to check it out, eRock Radio on Instagram there is this crazy homeless dude in shorts playing a flute on top of a barricade.
Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty funny.
saw that. Too, yeah.
So 4 times, cops went over to this guy to tell him to get off the barricade. And when I'm talking about barricade, it's not like a crowd control barricade. They have huge, like cement blocks in certain areas of New York City as part of like anti-terrorism stuff. That they can move these blocks in a pinch to block off the roads. You can't plow through them with a car or any of that stuff, right? So you have these big mountain, smooth rock foundations all over the place, and he's just up there playing the flute and thrusting. It's obvious he's not wearing underwear under these like black Champion gym shorts. or basketball shorts, and he's up there playing the flute, and he's thrusting, and you see it just moving all around. Everyone's taking photos, laughing. He's stopping traffic because people are stopping in the walkways of this busy intersection. The cops have to keep going over to him and like, get off of there, or they're going to arrest him. And he gets down and he plays a couple of songs. The second they get in their little cars and go away, he's hopping back up there, putting on a fucking concert.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It's getting really bad. We do have a dude too. I work at a restaurant that has a patio outside, and he doesn't come around anymore, but for the longest time there was a dude that would just hang out like right on the patio where everybody was eating, but he smelled so bad that you could smell him inside the restaurant, and it made you want to puke. Like, he had definitely shit himself and not showered in months, years, I don't know how long.
Oh yeah.
He smelled so bad, and people were out there trying to eat, and we used to have to call the cops on this guy all the time because he would just stand there and stare at everybody.
Yeah, there's a guy like that in my neighborhood, and he's just passed out on the sidewalk every day. I pass him in the work on my way to work in the morning. He's already drinking like his fifth of vodka. He's old, he's like literally covered in shit. Like, you could smell him from 2 blocks away. And like, one time I saw a lady run out with a bucket of water and just throw it on him because he was sitting in front of the restaurant and he wouldn't leave. And it's like, you can't have someone smelling like shit in front of a restaurant in the summer with the windows open. It's like, I cook in a soup kitchen. Like, we kick these people out of there too. We're like, we can't have you in here. Like, there's a level that we can deal with, but like, when you're covered in shit, like, we can't deal with that. You have to go somewhere else.
That's why there's all these like hepatitis and things spreading now. Like, we just recently had here in LA an outbreak of typhus in downtown LA where the homelessness is the worst, where it has to grow and all that stuff. Yeah, typhus, and then I think there was I
thought that was an American Gladiator, and like American Gladiator fights are breaking out. We got typhus over here in the corner.
No, Christopher Typhus, the comedian.
Yes.
Yeah. There's an outbreak. He's everywhere. Can't get rid of him. It's getting so ridiculous.
But your homeless epidemic is like way worse than New York. You guys have like shanty towns and like little villages and shit. Like, we just have to deal with a couple extra people on the corners every now and then. We don't have like entire like zip codes worth of people homeless.
Yeah, we have people that are trying to, they either walk down the traffic when you're at a light, they walk between the cars just with a sign. Sometimes they have roses or bottles of water that they're trying to sell you, or sometimes they're trying to clean your windshield. You have the people on the subways who come in there and they always have a story of they're trying to get clean, or they're trying to do something, or they're trying to sell candy for their high school, or they try to play an instrument really poorly. Like, it's always some kind of cabaret when you're in the subway like that. Or you have the guys that are like, even in the winter, they're laying all over the steam grates. Like, that's where all the heat is. So they're just huddled up right near, especially by the subways and the train station stuff. They're all just like huddled all over the place. But during the summer, when they're laying out in the street or just walking by, this is what another thing that's weird. Near one of the studios, there is still a payphone structure for 2 telephones. Now, it's not a full booth, but it's a T-stand. Like, it's
just a stand that you normally have the phone in.
Right. So the phones are there, and it has the sides that come down about 3/4 of the way. Like, it probably, if you're standing there, probably the sides end by your knees, so you can still see everything. Right. There's guys that live in that thing. Like, it's only open. 3 sides of the 4 have kind of shelter, kind of thing there. But they live in there. They hang their stuff up, and they're always just hanging out there. And nobody does anything about it anymore.
I mean, it sucks, but like, what can you do? Like, you can't arrest people for being homeless. It's like there's nowhere to like put people. It sucks. There's like people who build shanty towns under the BQE by me, and it'll be up there and it'll be fine. They're not bothering anybody. And then the police come and tear the whole thing down, and then they just make garbage everywhere. When at least before, when they built their little shanty town, it was contained in the shanty town. Now it's just everywhere.
Right.
So there's got to be a balance between letting people out. Like, there was these young kids who were homeless who come into the soup kitchen, and I gave them a tent that I wasn't using. I was like, here, so you have some sort of shelter. And the police came and took it away. They're like, you can't have a tent. You can't camp in the city. So it's like, even if you try and help people, it's still against the law. So they have to fix something. There has to be a balance, because it just sucks. There shouldn't be people living on the streets, and like, I hate like talking bad about them, but sometimes they really smell like shit and they're horrible people, and like, it sucks.
Well, you get a lot of times homeless, they're either addicts or they're crazy. Sometimes it is people that are just down on their luck, and that's really heartbreaking too, because they're just screwed over somehow or another. But I feel like a lot of what they could do is just have resources and programs for these people, but they just I feel like we have the money for it. What the fuck are they doing with it?
Yeah, we definitely have the money for it. It sucks. Yeah, and it is true. A lot of the people who are almost they're like addicts, and most of them have like mental health issues.
And
like, they all have like schizophrenia or some sort of bipolar disorder. Like they're people who like literally can't help themselves, and like we just throw them out, and it sucks.
And you're in probably the most liberal state in the entire country that has above and beyond more programs and social services than anybody anywhere else probably in the United States for people like this and for people down on their luck and all that stuff, and you guys can't even manage it.
No, it's terrible. I don't know. I'm sure that there's more than resources that I'm looking into, but I've always considered myself pretty liberal, but I'm getting real sick of liberal politicians preaching all this crap and then never really doing anything about it. Full of shit.
Well, I mean, they got to get the money somewhere, and then you have to like budget it, and then there's so much like red tape and shit behind the scenes that like you can promise anything, and then the second you get into office, you get elected, someone's gonna be like, yeah, you're not doing a goddamn thing you said you're gonna do, and we'll make sure we block it at every step of the way. That's the life also.
Yeah, that's also, you're right, that is true too. It's just
like we have a guy who ran for office here in Brooklyn, and he ran on the premise of I'm going to give back the waterfront and build you a park. And then the second he got into office, he gave it all to people to build 30-story skyscrapers. And he's like, yeah, that's just what I had to do, even though he ran on something different. So I don't know. There's a lot of strings to be pulled. It's kind of fucked up, but we could be doing.
You could be doing what?
I said we could be doing more to help people. Like it's really not that hard.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, let's bring it back to more pleasant conversation with creepy guys sending you gifts. So now
that's more fun.
Now you have more guys that are soliciting to you, and you'll probably
How
get
do we
more.
Even get there? From her getting gifts to we got to solve the homeless problem. It took a dive somewhere.
It did. It went from gifts to sex with socks, and then now homeless issues that we can't possibly
there
fix.
We go.
And
it was like the progression of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Like they started good, and then by the end, it's just like it's a train.
At the end, Gittles is running around yelling, "Rum ham!"
Exactly.
Oh, that's good.
So you have lingerie coming. You have what other stuff do you have coming?
Apparently some shorts, some Star Wars shorts, which I'm super pumped about. So yeah, and there's a Star Wars dress too, because he's like, "What kind of stuff do you like?" I'm like, "I don't know, this kind of stuff." And so I just sent him a few things of like Harry Potter things, Star Wars things, go nuts. And yeah, totally cool with it.
All right. Now, you live with somebody. Mm-hmm. Do they know about this?
Yeah, of course. I tell him everything.
And what happens?
Nothing. He's fine with it. Because I'm not doing anything.
No, I understand that. But it's for I guess for other people, that might be a bit off-putting, that this is going on with their significant other.
Nope. Not for him. Not even a little bit.
So okay. So if he's cool with it, is he now suggesting, see if you can get me a couple of things?
No, it's really funny because this guy is super into doing stuff for us as a couple too. And so he's like, hey, what does he want? And Nick's like, I don't want anything. Like, I don't know.
He's trying to rope you guys in because wife is also a swinger. That's what's happening here.
Wait, this is still the same guy that has the wife that has boyfriends?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's totally trying to rope
He's trying to snag you into a couples thing.
He's totally trying to rope you into a foursome.
You're going to go to Colorado on a swingers weekend, have fondue, and hot tub adventures.
Yeah, and all of a sudden he's going to clap, and 7 dwarves are going to walk into the room, and you're going to be like, what is happening?
When did these guys get here? Yeah, that's actually, it does sound like this is where this is going. This will be interesting.
All right, let's take it a step
get
further.
The free underwear out of it. It's free shit.
All right, so your other is not interested in receiving any said gifts.
No.
If this proposition is opened up, are you both open to that?
What, to banging other people?
Well, we're not going to go, or if you want to dive into that. I was trying to class it up a little bit. Like
Sorry,
maybe
I'm not classy.
You're going off to to Lake Tahoe. Somebody has a cabin on the lake there. It's very nice. Personal chef, pool, boat, all that stuff. Is this something that you guys are into?
Probably not. Not to say maybe not in the future when we've been together for 10 or 15 years and we're like, okay, let's, spice some shit up. But
I'm sick of you.
Yeah, but at the moment, like we're good. I'm good. I don't think I could really do anything like that. Like it's one thing to talk about it or to think about it, but to actually do it, I don't think I could sleep with someone else or watch him sleep with someone else.
Yeah, it'd be awkward.
Yeah, I don't think I'm there yet. Maybe later, but at the moment, probably not.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm just seeing I'm just trying to gauge where. No,
Eric's like, note to self: stop sending gifts. No,
no, I'm trying to gauge. I'm trying to gauge her gift level. Because as she kind of is open to more things, that price tag jumps up a little bit, instead of just buying, oh, look, she has a few DVDs on her Amazon list. Oh, look, she's got some kind of audio equipment that she needs for what she does. Maybe I'll spring a couple $100 and buy some of that stuff. And then, she's open to some more things. Like, I really think she could use that 90-inch flat screen television, 4K,
Some guy shows up on the porch. He's like, what do you want this African lion? We got him. Where do you want him? Yeah. And you're like, how did I even get them?
So when did they get my home address and why did they send me an African
Because
lion?
You made the Amazon list without putting the P.O. box on it like we told you to. That's how this got here.
Dumbass would do that. Oh, no.
Okay, so now, see, we're learning things about Zia, and you, the audience, are learning things about Zia. And remember, if you want to send, quote, Zia gifts, you have the P.O. box if you go earlier into the conversation there.
And if you want to send Gittles gifts, you could do that too.
Yeah, send Gittles some gifts.
Yeah, send me some candy
Gittles.
corns.
Yes.
Do you really like
all
candy
the gifts
corn?
people like. What?
Yeah. Do you really like candy corn?
No, I use it in recipes.
Oh, okay. I was just curious because I love candy corn and most people just shit all over it. So anytime I meet someone that likes it, I'm like, ooh.
Let me tell you something. If you melt down candy corns and then you add peanut butter to it and then some Rice Krispies and then you lay it flat in a pan and then put it in your freezer, you have just made homemade Butterfinger candy bars.
That sounds so fucking good.
It's super easy to make and they're really delicious. It's literally candy corns, peanut butter, and then like Rice Krispies for the crunch, and you just melt it all down, mix it together. It tastes exactly like.
Can I get all that minus the candy corn?
No, but you need it. That's why like Butterfingers have like that orange color.
But what if I order it without the candy corn?
It's just not going to work. You need it because it has to melt so it gets that texture, so it's brittly.
Well, what if we just do Rice Krispie treats then?
Okay, we can just for you, Eric, just Rice Krispie treats.
Awesome.
For everyone else, more delicious snacks.
Yes, I am not a candy corn fan.
What?
Nope. I have weird.
I
How do you feel about real corn?
I'm back on that bandwagon again. I wasn't for the longest time. I didn't like
Corn in the band?
Ooh, no, that's Disturbed.
Oh my God, Eric.
Oh, corn was wah, something like that.
Make me bad.
Yeah.
Wow. What was that? That sounds like
I can't do that I can't do that Jonathan Davis scream that he did.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good live too.
Can they still do it now, or do they have to
Yes.
like really low key it because their voices aren't the same?
No, I saw them recently, just a couple years ago, and I was actually impressed. Like they sounded great.
Really? You know what? A lot of these bands do. I know. I heard Slipknot has like been pretty good on their tours recently, and I heard their new album is really good.
Yeah.
Some like 60-year-old dude died in a mosh pit with them the other day, so that must be like they must be rocking.
My dad took me to Ozfest when I was like 14 or 15, and I was so excited. And I was trying to go into the mosh pit for Slipknot, and my dad was like, no, absolutely not. And I think like right as I was like, but come on, Dad, it's not that bad. I've been in mosh pits before. Some dude comes out with what looked like a broken wrist, and he was like, yeah. No.
Yeah, don't go in there. You're going to die.
And I'm like small now. When I was 14 or 15 or whatever, I was even smaller.
Just like get flung out of that.
Yeah, I would have just
the distance.
2 miles later. Mm-hmm. It's a tiny blonde woman. Everybody's like, "Where's she going?"
It's like a shooting star.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, enough of. If you get any kind of cool gifts going forward, feel free to always bring that up. We'd love to hear what people are sending you.
Yeah, if they send you pretzels, let me know.
If they send you
I'll send
pretzels,
pretzels
we'll
to
never
you.
talk to you again because those should be ours.
Yeah.
I do love pretzels, though, guys.
You can keep all the
then
monies.
you can have some.
You can keep all the fancy things, but if you get, snack foods, then we're gonna have a problem.
I'll send the snack foods to you guys.
Please do.
And when I get my lingerie set, I'll do the show on that.
That'd be great because then no one else can see that.
Nobody else can see it, but they'll just know. It's just it's nothing crazy.
Well, no, we're doing it now. Visualize.
Yeah.
Moving on. So some food news for you because we're going to do TV and movie stuff in the second
Food
segment.
news.
Food
What
news.
is there a new food, Eric?
Yes, there actually is, and I want to get your take on it. So remember a couple of weeks ago, the big fad of the moment was French's ice cream, mustard ice cream, where they
mustard ice cream deal,
they partnered with Cool House to make this mustard ice cream that was supposed to be a phenomenon, which was an internet phenomenon, but it never did anything else past that. So it existed at one point. But now another company has stepped up and trying to make their mark on the dessert world, the frozen food world, as Oscar Mayer introduced yesterday at Bryant Park in Manhattan, Ice Dog Sandwiches.
What?
This is a real thing.
I have a friend who actually got one. He went there and got it and tried it.
He did?
Yeah, he got to try it.
Okay, I'm pulling up, where did I have the photo here somewhere with the whole breakdown of it. Give me 1 second, and I think this is it, right?
Hold on,
Yep,
let me
that's it,
pull
okay.
up the message because he sent me a review of it. So let
Okay,
me,
you pull that up,
'cause
and I'll-
anytime anything ice cream comes along, people send me their reviews of it.
Okay,
So
you
let me-
pull that up while I tell the audience here what this is. So Oscar Mayer made an ice cream sandwich. We all know what an ice cream sandwich is. It's some kind of cocoa, if not chocolate-based, spongy kind of cakey kind of substance with frozen vanilla ice cream usually in the middle. It's portable. It's delicious. Who doesn't like an ice cream sandwich?
It's one of the best sandwiches.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
6-foot
Agreed.
party hero ice cream sandwich.
That would be awesome. So they come out with their own. Now, here's what it is. It looks like an ice cream sandwich per se. It's the structure of it. The physical characteristics of it are not an ice cream sandwich. So here's what we have. What would be like a chocolate kind of cakey substance is now a cookie dough kind of bun, if you will. Looks same shape as an ice cream sandwich, but it's cookie dough here, right? Nothing in it, just the dough, right? Now, on the inside is the ice cream, but it's split into two different sections. It's all together, but one side is one and the other side is another. So the one side is yellow, and it's spicy Dijon gelato. On the other side is hot dog sweet cream with candied hot dog bits in the sweet cream.
Yep.
Now, from what I'm told, the hot dog, you're thinking like chopped up hot dogs pieces in there, right? But from what I'm told, it's the equivalent of like a bacon bit in the ice cream there, right? So
Which is fine.
You have the cookie for the sandwich part. On the inside, one half of the ice cream is spicy Dijon gelato, and on the other side is hot dog sweet cream with candied hot dog bits. Now, I don't know if this is going on sale everywhere, or if this was just another promotional thing like the French's mustard, which it seems to be. The only difference is that the French's mustard had a big ramp up. At least a month or so, at least on Instagram, people knew that French's was going to put out a mustard. They didn't believe it was a thing, but people knew.
Yeah.
The Oscar Mayer thing seemed to have come out of nowhere. Because when I was talking about it with people yesterday, I said, yeah, apparently they're up at Bryant Park with these sandwiches. I was thinking of if I had time to go over there, and everyone's like, I didn't even know about this. It just kind of showed up. And I saw some photos from Bryant Park, and there's the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, and there's a guy dressed in like an old-timey hot dog serving outfit with the paper hat, and he's just standing there waiting for people to come up and interview him like he's the spokesperson or the PR people, whatever, for this. And then different news organizations are coming up and trying to get time to talk to this guy. So they just set up camp and then told the news and then said, hey, come. They didn't schedule anything, I don't think. It's just everybody showed up at the park and like, holy shit, this is going on.
so weird.
Now Gittles' friend.
I didn't even know about it until I have a friend who goes and like actively hunts down all of these things, and he went, and I just started getting pictures and reviews from it. I didn't even know it was a thing. I was like, didn't this happen a week ago? And I was like, oh, this is a different ice cream thing.
Right.
But my friend did try it, and this is what he said. Hold on one second. Let me pull it up here. So he said the cookie was from a company that he usually likes, and it was not a very good cookie. He said the left side of the sandwich had candied hot dog pieces, which were very good. He said the right side had mustard ice cream. It is bad.
Yes,
So
spicy
he said-
Dijon gelato does not sound delicious in any means.
No, I mean, like the candy hot dog, like that makes sense because like candied bacon and like any kind of that stuff like that works. Like you can make that work with sweet things, but like,
Well,
if
they
you
are.
don't-
They're all technically the same thing. They're all
tasted,
pork.
Like, that's weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, it doesn't sound like a winner. Like I mean, I work in an ice cream shop, and I didn't hear about it till the day of. So that's kind of telling you something. Like the mustard one, I heard about weeks before, but this was like, oh, here's today. Like, what's tomorrow? It's gonna be like, here's a quesadilla with ice cream in it. It's an ice cream quesadilla.
With
Kinda want
cheese
that.
too, like a
Fuck yeah.
a quesadilla with cheese and ice cream and the tortilla.
I mean, I kind of want that now. I wish I didn't say that.
You could make it.
Yeah, like I can make that. Let's do
Maybe-
that. You guys want to make
yeah.
ice cream quesadillas? I'll send you one, Zia, to your P.O. box.
Okay,
Pick
great.
it up. It's going to melt. Eric, you're going to have to come by and get it.
That's fine. Send it in one of those bubble envelopes so that it stays in form.
Yeah, I'll send it in like a nice box.
Yeah, with the dry ice, like they do with what is it, Gold Belly?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
any of that stuff.
Yeah.
We actually get at the ice cream shop that I'm at, like we get ice creams shipped to us from California all the time, and it comes with dry ice.
Really?
And it's totally fine when it comes. Yeah, because
wow.
you guys have Jenny's ice cream and Salt and Straw out in California, which are like two of the biggest places in the country right now. So we like to try some of the flavors, and they'll mail it out to us.
I've still never been to either of those, but they've been on my friggin' ice cream to go list forever. Jenny's Splendid Ice Cream, right? That's the one.
Yep. And I've
Yeah.
had both of them, and they're really good ice cream.
Last week we talked fast food, and there was places on your list that you haven't gone to. Now you have an ice cream list, apparently, that you have to go to. Your lists are piling up here. You got to start checking off some of these things.
I'm poor. If people want to Venmo me money to go eat snacks, I will take that as well.
Okay.
It could be the consumerist on location.
Yeah.
Or the consumer, rather.
Exactly.
So we'll
Do you
just
wanna-
do that. We'll get
Do you want to join?
get people to give her money so she can go try these things, then she can give reviews of it.
Do you want to join the consumer? I'll give you the login. You can go and do reviews out on the West Coast. We'd love that.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be fun.
Yay, new things are happening. Oh, by the way, talking about the fast food. So you mentioned a place that you liked going to. It was a wing place.
Oh, the baked
Wingstop?
wing?
Wingstop.
Bake-
I found accidentally that there's a Wingstop in Newark.
Oh,
There's a
hey.
Wingstop right by me, like a mile
gotta
away.
go.
Yeah, but I hadn't seen them anywhere in Jersey at all. And I just happened to be driving down this road there, and I see it in an old strip mall, and there it is, Wingstop. So now that I know that it's there, I'll have to go and give it a try. I don't really have high hopes for it, but if you vouch for it, I will definitely go and check it out.
Let me know.
Speaking of chains, Pizza Hut announced last week that do you eat Pizza Hut?
No, I'm a Domino's person.
Okay, good. So Pizza Hut announced it's closing 500 locations in the next year. So apparently they're not doing well. Domino's is killing everybody right now. And it's funny to see all of this because let's just say 10 years ago, Domino's was in such a bad spot that they had to completely change everything within that company. And they did commercials saying, look, we know what you're saying. We know our pizza sucks. We know it tastes like cardboard. We know that the sauce is garbage. They did these spots and they said, look, we're going to be closing down a lot of our stores, but we're going to rebuild them. And they did. If you go into, if you see a Domino's store anywhere, some are just their only takeout stuff, but the ones that actually have dining all redid them. So to make it a nicer presentation for you to go in there, they switch. And look, we're talking about fast food delivery pizza. We're not talking about authentic pizza that to compare it to. We're talking about as far as the fast food chains go. Domino's redid their, I don't know what they did with their breading, but they redid their sauce. Their sauce is has a lot of kick to it, very spicy. They added sandwiches and a whole bunch of other stuff to it, and Domino's just took off. Mm-hmm. Pizza Hut was just riding, I think, on reputation for the longest time, and because I think they had, up until Papa John's, I think they had the NFL deal. And then Papa John's came and took it over, and Papa John's fucked it up just because they had a shitty CEO and bad PR for everything there, and also kind of lackluster pizza. But they had garlic butter sauce, which everybody knows from my history.
Garlic butter sauce is pretty good.
Is one of my favorite things. So Papa John's, it was theirs to lose. Pizza Hut, it was theirs to lose. Domino's had everything to gain, and they've been, as far as fast food pizza goes, if you're in one of those areas that doesn't make good pizza, this is what you got. And Domino's is just killing everything. Pizza Hut's closing 500 locations. That is huge. I haven't been to a Pizza Hut in forever, but I always hear people talk.
They keep closing.
Yeah, I keep hearing about when people talk that some Pizza Huts have a buffet bar.
Yes, that's the only. So I don't think we really had Domino's growing up that I remember, but we did have a Pizza Hut, and the Pizza Hut that we had a buffet bar. So for us, that was so exciting because they had. I mean, I'm sure it's trash food, and if I went back and ate it now, I'd be like, oh god. But when I was a kid growing up in Hawaii, we don't have pizza there, so that was exciting.
You don't have pizza in Hawaii?
We do, but not real pizza. It's not.
What is
there's
it?
Not it's just we had a place in the mall called Pizza by the Slice.
So are you telling me if I went down there with the pizza recipe and started a pizza restaurant, I'd probably kill it?
You would kill it, yes. Because I can't think of a place there that has pizza, but good pizza.
Gittles, you may have to move to Hawaii.
I mean, there could be worse things I have to do.
There's this one guy on the east side of the volcano that makes the most amazing pizza.
He cooks it on the volcano. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's what you do. You get volcanic rocks, you put it in the brick oven, and you just say it's called volcanic pizza or whatever it is.
Oh my god, Gittles versus the volcano pizza.
There you go. Gittles versus the volcano. That's the name of your pizza place.
Make it a cooking show too, where you cook the pizza and it's will Gittles die today?
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Let's do this. I'm gonna go to. That's it. Moving to Hawaii to open a pizza place.
I don't know what it is about his dough and his crust, but it has a real earthy kind of taste. Also basil.
That's the review.
All right, so Pizza Hut's shutting down most of that stuff. I'm indifferent either way because we're in the Northeast and you can go to countless amazing pizza places and Italian places. So the chain stuff doesn't really affect this area, but this is just a small percentage of the United States and Canada and wherever. I think Pizza Hut is worldwide. Oh, so yesterday, I don't know why this was trending, but somebody, I guess on a VHS tape, found an old Pizza Hut commercial from Russia in the, I think 90, 91, whenever the Soviet Union collapsed, right? So this is a Pizza Hut commercial that ran in Russia, and it's just it's like a family at a table in a really gloomy, dingy kind of establishment. And this one person's talking to this one lady's talking to this guy, and they're talking about how life is, and then they see Gorbachev walk in with, I don't know if it's his daughter or his granddaughter, but he walks in with a young girl. And they sit down to have a meal together, and they're like, "Oh my God, it's Gorbachev!" And it's like, "Gorbachev is so great." And the guy's like, "How is Gorbachev great? He brought in, economic confusion to this nation. Now, no, but he brought in these things." And they're going back and forth of how he's bad, how he's good. And then he's like, "You know what really Gorbachev did? What?" And he's like, "He brought us Pizza Hut." Because now communism's gone, Pizza Hut was allowed to come into this area, and they're all just toasting slices of pizza to each other. And then it cuts over to Gorbachev with the girl, they're having a father-daughter moment, and they're enjoying pizza. And then it cuts to outside, which looks like it's snowing like crazy, and then Pizza Hut with the Russian lettering that almost makes it look like Pirate Skull and Bones. It looks really evil, but the signs are right there, and it's a Pizza Hut. It's like the first Pizza Hut that they opened in Russia or something like that. And people were going nuts for this damn thing. It was really
That's
weird to
amazing.
watch, to see it on that side.
Yeah, dude. Like after, like once American culture started like spreading into Russia, like they just ate that shit up. They loved every aspect of it. And yeah, I saw that commercial and I was laughing pretty hard. It was
Right?
pretty good.
Because they're like, oh, Gorbachev did this. Yeah, but Gorbachev did that. You know what Gorbachev did? What? He got us Pizza Hut. Now everyone's rejoicing.
Yeah,
when they
we have
toasted the pizza
Economic
slices,
collapse, but we have Pizza Hut.
when they toasted the pizza slices together, I said, this is fucking ridiculous. But it's mesmerizing.
They probably loved it because it was warm and it wasn't cabbage soup. They were
It's
like,
not
"Oh my God."
borscht.
Yes.
It's not
Tastes like
stroganoff.
anything else.
You do stuff with food, right?
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, I eat a lot of it. I have
We all
real
do.
problems. Yeah. I have real
But you
problems
worked
when
in
it
the
comes-
service industry. You had problems with food stuff.
I work at a restaurant, but I also just anytime I see today, for example, I was in 7-Eleven and I saw that they had raspberry honey buns. And I was like, oh, well, I got to try that. Like, I'm that person. Anytime I see something that's new, all the new cereals, I'm like, I need to try it. So you usually get all of it always. I'm actually really looking forward to the raspberry honey buns. They look freaking awesome.
That does sound kind of delicious.
Right?
Yeah, that's
I would at least try it once. That does sound pretty good.
Exactly. And they were like two for $2.49. So I bought two.
What were you saying before the show about where you work about food allergy stuff? Because on this show, we've talked about food allergies for the longest time, and I've always complained, and Brian always has to bring me back down to earth and be like, no, these are serious things. I just thought people were just, weak and being selfish and doing stuff for attention. He goes, no, these are serious problems that people are having, and I just want nothing more than people to eat peanuts on a plane.
and just die. No. So look, I totally understand food allergies. Like, I'm not an asshole. Someone tells me they have an allergy, I take it seriously and I put notes and I let the kitchen know and all that stuff. What happens to me that this happened to me a couple weeks ago, and I still cannot fathom how fucking stupid this woman was. Like, I literally couldn't believe it. So this one of my tables, it's a really busy restaurant. I get like 4, 5, 6 tables at a time. So you're just running through each one, getting people started with their drinks, food orders, blah, blah, blah. So I go to these people, they're ready to order. They only want water. And I should mention that at our restaurant, we already have bottles of water on the table. They're just these round, clear, cylindrical, like fancy bottles of water. And we put
So
lemon.
like an empty wine bottle type thing.
Exactly. And we put lemon and mint leaves in them, because we're fancy. So
That's almost like a spa.
Yeah, it's spa water. People have called it that before. It's friggin' spa water. But it's see-through. Like, you can see the mint leaves and you can see the lemon in the water. This woman drinks the water. I think it's a couple. They're together. And maybe 5 minutes after I put their order in, 10 minutes after I put their order in, they stopped me and they're like, is this mint in the water? And I was like, yes. And they were like, oh, she's allergic to mint. But she had already drank it. And she ended up having to leave to go to the hospital. And I'm like, wait a second. You're allergic to mint, so allergic that you have to go to the hospital. Like, her face was starting to blow up, like, right in front of us.
Oh, man.
She was, right? Like, you're so allergic that you have to go to the hospital. Like, that's almost deathly allergic to something. And you, A, don't know what it looks like. And B, you don't see something green in your water and be like, hey, what is this? Before you fucking drink it.
And wouldn't you immediately taste that flavor? You know what I mean? Like,
Right?
you'd immediately taste it and be like, oh, this is mint. Like, I mean, I know that, like, if you're allergic, maybe you don't know what mint tastes like, but I feel like you also would know what mint tastes like. I
Because
think
you've
you've
tried
smelled it enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
That's
the fuck?
crazy.
I couldn't believe it. And the same thing, this one
Like,
wasn't
you didn't
as-
tell me there was gluten in this bread. Meh. Like,
Exactly. Like, you fucking idiot. And I know that if I was allergic to something, A, I would know what it looks like. And B, I would be sure to tell my server beforehand to be like, hey, just a heads up, I'm allergic to this one thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So we know. Otherwise, what the fuck? Just don't drink the water. Don't drink the water.
that's just crazy, though, because, like, how would you not see that in there? Like, what would you think it is? Parsley? Cilantro? Like, what else? What other green thing is going to be? It's not cucumber. Cucumber is not leafy. It's not kale water. It's not spinach water. Like, there's only so many things that it could possibly be.
No, you're
And like,
so
you could
right.
smell mint. Like, you could smell mint. Like, it's such a strong flavor. Like, I mean, I'm not allergic to it, but like, I don't like the taste of it.
So you know, right? When you see it, though,
But
you're like, oh, that's
you know what
I don't
mint
want it.
is. Like anytime I see anything green, I'm like, is that cilantro or mint? And they're like parsley. I'm like, okay, thank God, because if it's
Right.
cilantro or mint, I don't want it. But you should know. Like if you have an allergy that's that bad, you should be telling people everywhere you go, I can't have this, because mint is in a lot of things.
Yes.
Like what kind of toothpaste does she use?
That's a good. Probably she uses the kids' bubblegum toothpaste.
Aqua
Or the
Fresh.
cinnamon? Ugh. The charcoal.
God, isn't that supposed to be bad for you? People are over there brushing their teeth with charcoal, and it frickin' is not actually good for your stomach.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, there was an ice cream shop in the city here that was using activated charcoal to make like pitch black ice cream, and then the Department of Health told them they couldn't do it because charcoal is a carcinogen. But you could use it in things, so I don't know how it works on that level. But
I'm very skeptical
Yeah.
about, a couple of years ago, the whole charcoal thing became really big as far as masks, soap, skin creams, all the charcoal and everything. And I tried, was it Nivea has an active charcoal kind of body soap. And I was using that for a little bit, and I swear I thought that my skin was getting fucked up because I used it. And I asked some doctors, and they're like, no, I don't really see anything in there that should be causing that. And I just think they either weren't experienced with this, or they just didn't think it was anything. But I was pretty concerned by the fact that I think the charcoal was doing something to my skin, that I stopped using it and switched to something else.
Yeah, I feel like you just really shouldn't be fucking with charcoal in your body, like eating it.
I don't even like to grill with it. And I know people swear by
I
it.
love grilling with charcoal. It tastes so much better.
Really?
Oh yeah, dude! You get the right coals, and your food tastes different. I think so, at least.
It's
It
possible.
might just be the toxicness of whatever like lands in my grill in this neighborhood, but I think it tastes good. It's probably all that asphalt I've been using as charcoal.
I mean, look, chemicals do taste delicious. They make
Oh,
the
I
best
know.
foods.
So,
I feel like any.
sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just gonna say, I feel like anything that is horrible for you, with full of chemicals and trash, is always the tastiest.
Always, it has to be, because you're not supposed to eat it, so you have to make it delicious. If you're not supposed to eat it, like they're not going to make it taste like shit. You can be like, oh, that's perfect. I can easily.
That's true. That's true.
So how
I'll
did
take
this
it.
get resolved?
Nothing. They paid for their food and left, and she went to
She
the
died.
hospital. She might have. I don't even know.
She
But I
died
just-
going back to her home planet.
Possibly.
Aw.
I didn't even have it in me to feel bad for her, because I was like, you're just the dumbest girl in school. I don't understand. I just don't understand.
Yeah, I don't.
Same. Go ahead.
This goes back to, we've had this discussion many times, but the whole food allergy thing, where trying to figure it out, where, us growing up, we didn't hear about these kind of things ever. Like, I don't know if people didn't know about it, or just it wasn't that big a deal. And now everybody's allergic to everything.
Well, the one that does annoy the shit out of me is when people are trying to, like, the
Gluten?
gluten-free thing.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck off.
I'm allergic to gluten. No, you're not. You're
You're
not.
not.
Unless you have that real.
Unless you have celiac disease, which
that's
some
what I was
people
thinking of.
have, and
Yeah.
like, and I have a couple of friends who've like developed celiac disease, and they all say the same thing. I would fucking kill to eat some gluten right now. Like, I want to eat real pizza. I want to drink real beer. I want to do all this stuff. And they're like, I can't understand these people who think it's going to affect their health. It doesn't. Like, it really doesn't. But like, if you have the allergy and you literally can't eat it because you're going to shit yourself or vomit, like, that sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly the point. Celiac disease, or I even think in some cases for Crohn's disease that they have to kind of bypass that. But it's not anybody. You have that. I guess in the technical sense, yes, you have an allergy to it, but it's not like Gittles was saying, where, I can't eat gluten because I think it's going to do something to me, or I'm trying to. No, it's not. It's not going to fucking do anything unless you have those specific conditions. Eat a burger, have some beer, enjoy yourself.
Yeah, enjoy your life.
Have a pretzel.
Eat some shit. Walk an extra mile. Like, who gives
For
a
the
shit? It's
love
gluten.
of God. And for the amount of times in a day that I have people ask me if we have gluten-free bread, that and avocado toast. It makes
Well, that's
me
your own
sick.
Gluten-free
fault.
avocado toast.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Oh, God, Gittles, you just...
What if they have an
You're a
avocado?
loser monster.
Gluten-free bread it's like sand. Like, you eat it and it just like dissolves weird in your mouth. Like, it has this weird, because it's not bound by anything, so there's no gluten. So like,
Exactly.
you start eating, it just falls apart. And it's such an uncomfortable mouth feel. Like, I hate it. Ugh.
I don't like it either. It's gross.
Did they at least leave you a
Ugh.
nice tip?
Sometimes, but a lot of the time, no. I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship with LA. There's a lot about it that I really like, but the longer I've been here and the more I wait tables here, the more I understand that Tool song, Enema. I've always been a fan of that song. Love it. But now I really understand the lyrics of wanting to just flush this whole fucking place away.
Tool was on the forefront of climate change awareness, you know.
They would be.
But yeah, every time I hear that song, I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Wash it all away.
Uh,
New Tool album end of this month.
I know. I'm so excited.
Very excited.
So excited.
See, I don't care.
Are you excited, Eric? That's the sound of a
no.
man who's not excited about a new Tool record.
I don't hate Tool. I just don't think I really ever got into them.
Yeah, I don't like. It's not a band that everyone could just get into. Like,
Yeah.
They're very weird.
Like, it took me a while to get into some of those bands when everybody started, you know, playing in the minor keys and pitch shifting everything down. Like it's like Alice in Chains and Korn and, like you said, Tool.
Oh, I like some of that stuff though.
I do now.
my
It took me a
favorite.
while to like it, but it was hard for me to get into some of those bands because it's just like,
But even some of that stuff is like not even nearly as close to down tuned as some shit today. Like some shit today is somebody would be like, I'm playing a note. I'm like, I can't even hear it. It's so low. The string is like, I'm like, that's just a clothes drying line outside. Like, no, it's my.
Yeah, I stopped listening to any other music a long time ago. I very rarely find new bands that I like. It's always, I just listen to the same shit.
I just find weird stuff from my coworkers who are younger than me, and then I get introduced to new music, and then I feel like the cool old guy at work. So I'm like, you guys know about this? And they're like, yeah, we told you about it. I'm like, yeah.
and then
cool.
out comes Baby Shark. Do 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 do.
Oh, nope.
What is that?
You don't know Baby Shark? It's not like I'm not even gonna go. Oh my God, you don't know Baby Shark?
It's from like 1982. It's not a good song.
It came out like I think last year. It was a kid's song that just for some reason took off. It was last year. I think it was the biggest song on iTunes.
It's ridiculous.
And now they play it. They play it.
Terrible start. Terrible song.
They play it during baseball games now for like not like seventh inning stretch, but you know, between innings and stuff. They play Baby Shark, and I think it's the Nationals that do it, where they have it and they do the whole shark thing like that instead of doing the Wave or Sweet Caroline or something like that, or YMCA. They do Baby Shark now.
Weird.
Here's the thing. It's the epitome of the perfect pop song. It's annoying, but it's extremely catchy. You can't get it out of your head. There's different layers, and then there's a key change and a big ending, a big finale to it. It's the perfect written pop song.
Better than Old Town Road? I
Got
just
my horse
discovered
and
it.
my bucket and the car and
Such
bucket
garbage.
And I gotta go to
You wanna
the
know how-
store. Like, no, it's a
Exactly.
terrible song.
You want to know how bad it's gotten that it's garbage? Jib Jab. You know what Jib Jab is?
Oh my god, are those people still around?
Yes,
I
Jib-
remember when they were huge for like a month.
Because they were
And
doing
then
all the
everyone was like,
presidential
"Fuck you, Jib."
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? Jib Jab now has it where you can insert, because that's their thing. You send you upload your photos, it puts your photos on the Dancing Elves for Christmas or whatever holiday occasion's
that
going
thing.
on. They do the thing now where they do Old Time Road. What is it? Old Time Road?
Old Town.
Old Town Road, where that's going on, and then you put your photo into the video and all of that.
I
Yeah.
see.
It is essentially Jump the Baby Shark. Ba-dum-ching. Anyway.
Oh, I feel so not cool.
Yeah.
Start talking about this stuff. I'm like, who is this and what's that? Oh God.
I've been playing around with Spotify even more, and starting to see people. It's not like I've solicited or people know that I'm on there, but when you're listening to a certain band or a certain genre or whatever, all of a sudden it eventually will pop up. Hey, you should check out some of these users' playlists. And every now and then, if I'm on the train or something, I'll throw somebody's playlist on and I'll skim through it. And once in a while, I find a song or two that's like, oh, don't know that, or oh, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna add that to my collection. But that's the only way I'm finding stuff now. Either that or sometimes I hear something weird in a commercial and I'll just throw Shazam on and I'll go, oh, this song sounds pretty cool. And you Shazam it and like, wow, this song's 8 years old. I didn't know.
I have a friend who does that all the time. Like, we'll be out places and she'll just take out her phone and just like hold it up to the speaker. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, Shazamming it. I'm like, really? This song is terrible.
I discovered Wilco that way from a porn once.
Wilco.
Yeah.
From a porn?
From porn. It was playing in
Are you sure it was Wilco and not Dildo?
No, because I should. Yeah, it was Dildo. That's the other band. I was just watching a video and I was like, this song is kind of cool. So I Shazammed it and I was like, oh, but I didn't like any of their other stuff. It was just that whatever song they used for that video, I was like, this is not bad.
I'm trying to figure out.
Porn
I know
fans
of
have been
Wilco,
using
but I'm
too.
trying to figure out what the hell their big songs were.
I honestly don't know. It was just one that sounded kind of cool. And I was like, what is this?
Yeah,
It had that song. It was like, "We are Wilco." Bum,
bum, ba, da, bum, 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 bum. Got it.
Yeah, that was it, right?
That's how it worked. Yeah, I'm looking at the titles here. I don't know. Jesus, etc. California Stars.
I don't think
I should
like
start making It's Eric
other
Nagel
stuff.
playlist of weird music I find, and then
Yeah.
listeners can
You should.
tune in and listen to playlists
You have
of
Spotify,
weird
right?
music I curate.
You have
What's
Spotify,
up?
right?
Of course, I have Spotify.
Let's do that. Let's make a weird show playlist, and we can start because I think you can share the playlist with people, and like we can put it out
you
there.
can make your playlist public.
Yeah, let's do that. Because also, if you don't know or if you don't care, our show is on Spotify, and a lot of people have been saying that they've been listening to us on there. Obviously, the iHeart app and iTunes, or no, it's not iTunes anymore, Apple Podcasts. But Spotify has been showing up a lot lately that people have been listening to it,
Nice.
which is awesome. Great way to get
Yeah.
the show. But yeah, let's put up a playlist of weird shit. We can each do our own.
Mine is just going to be all like Iron Maiden and Korn songs and Skindred. And I'll introduce you guys to some Coheed and Cambria if you haven't heard of them.
I know Coheed and Cambria.
I know them.
I've seen them. Where did I see? Oh, up at Sirius.
So jealous.
Richard Christie, big fan of Coheed and Cambria. His band, I think, opened for them for a while.
What?
His band,
That's awesome.
what was his band? Charred Walls of the Damned is his band, and they opened for Coheed and Cambria. But I remember Howard was making fun of him all the time because he would go to every. You know how people go to Fish shows
Yeah.
or Pink Floyd or those religious types for music.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Where
one
they
of
just
those.
follow them around the country.
Yeah, something like that. But every time they were in New York or every time they were somewhere that he could fly out to go see him, he would go see Coheed and Cambria.
Aw, I feel less alone. People make fun of me a lot for liking that band. I'm like, hey,
I know
They're awesome.
Skindred, but I think I only know one song.
it's probably oh God, what's their big one? There's like one that for
'Cause of-
some reason everybody knows.
Because they used to play it on K-Rock, I think.
Oh, maybe.
Oh,
that's why.
no. I think they've been around for a long time, right?
Yeah. They've been around for a while. They're a Welsh band, like Welsh metal reggae band.
Check it out. I can...
Warning, maybe. Step it back a little, warning. And then it goes into like the metal part.
I don't know if that's the song. Possible. I'll have to look on my... I still have my iPod in my car with all
Do
my
you
stuff.
really?
Oh, yeah. All my
Wow.
music is on that iPod in my car, so I can just flip a button and it's right there, and I skim through my entire collection.
That's great.
I have like 7,600 songs.
How many can you have on an iPod again?
As much as it doesn't matter by song, it's by space.
Depends on like the bit rate and how you encoded it and like the file size. Like
MP3s, it's a shit ton, but if you want anything better than that, it's probably not as many.
Well, all my MP3s are 320. I max them out.
Ah, nice. Okay. My iPod got stolen from the feds, and I just never got another one.
The feds.
Yeah, we got raided, and they stole my iPod, and I just never got it back.
Okay.
you get raided?
Why did you get raided?
Oh, this was when my dad's grown pot my whole life, and it was not always legal.
oh, nice.
Yeah, so he went to jail once when I was.
Hold on a second. Remember,
a baby.
Gittles, they're on the south side of the volcano. That's where
Yeah.
the no
I
good
was
stuff
gonna
happens.
say, so my PO box is Gittles at
So send some of that my way.
yeah.
Yeah, so we got raided by the feds, and they were looking for, it was the DEA, and they were looking for like guns, cocaine, and like all this other crazy stuff. And I was like, he just grows weed, Jesus. I mean, at the time, a lot of it, but he didn't have any. I mean, he did coke recreationally, but not, selling it.
Wow, you've had a life.
Yeah, it's been a weird one.
I
Short
think
of
the
book.
song I
I mean, it sounds
knew.
pretty
Oh,
interesting.
yeah.
was very weird.
Looking at the list here for Skindred, I think the song I knew is Set It Off.
Oh, okay. That's a good song.
I think that's the one that we were playing on the radio. 2002. Yeah, so I was still in Florida. So yeah, this was on 103.1 The Buzz and Planet Radio when I was doing those stations down there.
Good for them.
That's the only song I knew. I don't know anything else by them.
I love just about every single one of their songs I've heard. I've never heard a song where I'm like, oh, I don't like this song that much. They covered Electric. We're gonna rock down to Electric Avenue. Yes, they redid
Gonna
that.
make it higher. Yeah, that song's.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Trying to think. Eddie Grant, right?
I don't even know.
No, Billy Ocean did. No, it's Eddie Grant. Eddie Grant did Electric Avenue. It's all about doing drugs.
Is that what that song's about?
I think so. All right. What is the meaning for Electric Avenue? Electric Avenue is a shopping area in the Brixton section of London, named because it was the first street in the area to get electric lights. Brixton was the setting for riots between police and protesters in 1981, which Grant. Wait a minute. They just got electric lights in 1981?
Really?
Well, it says
Yeah,
Brixton,
dude,
unless they're
places-
doing a time jump, because now it says Brixton was the setting for riots between police and protesters in 1981, which Grant refers to in the opening line, down in the street there is violence. So now you can riot at night because of the electric lights on Electric Avenue, and they let you get you higher.
Well, Spoon Man is not about drugs.
Spoon Man. Dun, dun, dun,
What's
dun,
up,
dun.
Or
Spoon
is
Man?
it actually a guy playing the spoons? Because I've heard both.
I don't know.
That
the
might
truth.
be
I never,
the press release for the band or for the CD. It's like, oh, it's this guy doing playing spoons, but really it's
It's the drug song.
it's like Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. You know, when you're 13 and you find out it means LSD. It does? I had no idea. That's what Spoon Man is. And all your friends are brown and red. Spoon Man.
Yeah. I think it's the only way for that to make sense, because spoon guys playing spoons. Like, why would your friends be brown?
What is Spoon Man about?
it's about a man who plays spoons, and he plays it on the street, and people look down on him because he's not dressed like everyone else, but he's just perfecting his craft as an artist type thing, and how you shouldn't look down on people who are doing things. That's what it says on Wikipedia, at least.
I mean, that's what I'd heard when I was younger, and then I think I brought that up to someone, and they're like, no, it's about drugs. And I was like, what?
Interesting.
Yeah. I always thought it was about a spoon man. I never thought it was like a reference to like using a spoon to like freebase, like drugs. I always thought it was.
I didn't think
some
about
dude
that
who
till she
played
brought it
spoons.
up, and I just went with the story. I like the fact
Oh,
that, no, Spoon
really?
Man's really about this guy in the streets, and that's what they have to do to sell it to the radio stations and to MTV and all that
Yeah.
stuff to get them on the Tonight Show. But then really it's about
Fork Man.
when they're doing the documentary. No, dude, it was about doing heroin. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's like, wow, they really had us fooled. Then what does Rubber Band Man mean?
I don't know.
You know that song?
very-
Or do you got to Shazam it?
Is that the T.I. song?
I have no idea.
No, Rubber Band Man is a song by a group called the Spinners. If you heard it, it's got a really catchy bass line, but it's about one of the guy's sons who was being teased by his classmates for being overweight as a kid. The Rubber Band Man is fat shaming,
Yeah, pretty much.
but when the Rubber Band Man he starts to jam and then goes, it's so catchy. They used, you know what I think they used it for? I think they used it for a Staples commercial. Where did you
Of course
remember?
they would.
You remember the show, with Jason Lee, Earl? My Name is Earl.
Oh, My Name is Earl. Yeah.
Okay.
I never watched it, but
My Name is Earl. The blonde girl who was his ex-wife, can't remember her name. Famous actress. The guy she ran off with or married after dumping Earl, the black dude with the Rastafarian hair. He was the guy, like the guy from the mailroom in this business. And that song's playing and he's just dancing around, like giving out office supplies and things like that. I remember it from a Staples commercial, but yeah, it's an
Jamie
old song.
Presley.
Jamie Presley, yes. Poison Ivy 2, I believe. Or 3. One of them. It's the one that doesn't have Drew Barrymore. Anyway, Rubber Band Man song, good song. Anyway, we should take a break. When we come back, we got to do some TV and news stuff and then live our lives for yet another week so we can come back the next week and have more nonsense to tell you. We'll be right back.
It's Erik Nagel with Erik and Gittles. More next. It's Erik Nagel. Follow the show on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, and Facebook at It's Erik Nagel. It's Erik Nagel. He is back.
Welcome back. It's Erik, it's Gittles, it's Zia for segment 2 of this fine program. 2 of this fine program. 2 of this. 2!
Sorry, I just want to say 2.
2! Enough. All right, Gittles, putting a flashlight on your face.
I thought we were saying boo.
Yes, this is not ghost stories. What's that movie that's out that you wanted to see? Based on that Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, right?
Yeah, I want to see that.
I didn't read that book growing up.
How?
Because I think that might have been a step below me. I never read that book.
I think it was. But we'll talk about that another time.
Coming in at number 1 from Zia's homeland of Hawaii, Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw. Did very well. Coming in number 2 for its debut, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. I think I want to go see that. Is it doing well? Seems to be doing well. Is it reviewed well is the question. Number 3, the boring reenactment, reimagining of The Lion King from Disney. Number 4, Zia's newest favorite movie, Dora and the Lost City of Gold.
It was not terrible.
And then number 5, well, that was a big fall. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, it was a big fall, but it was still the first non-sequel movie this year to break $100 million, so he's doing pretty good.
Right. Anything opening this weekend? Oh, Angry Birds 2 opened earlier this week, so if you got kids, there you go. That's something to do.
Oh, cool. I'll bring all my kids.
And then opening this weekend, let's see, 47 Meters Down, Uncaged. What is that?
That is the sequel to the shark movie about the people who, like, the shark cage breaks and they get trapped 47 meters underwater with a shark trying to eat them.
Okay.
So this is the sequel to that, where apparently the same thing happens again. I imagine it's like The Hangover, but with sharks in a cage.
What was that movie?
Like, oh no, how did we end up in this situation again?
What was that movie?
Keep going down there?
I know. What was that movie a while back that got a lot of notoriety, where it was a couple, like they were shipwrecked or something? They were floating in the ocean and they were trying to fight off sharks, and then eventually they just kind of gave up and they drowned. Remember, it's them just in the ocean, and you would watch the whole movie from their perspective as it was bobbing around the ocean.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. Titanic? What is that it?
Titanic.
No,
yes.
that's a comedy. This one was more of a drama.
Oh, Bodie McBoatface.
That's a real thing, actually.
It wasn't Bodie McBoatface? What was this movie, Erik? Lost at Sea with Erik, the movie?
A lot of people complained that it was a good movie, but they were getting nauseous because the camera's floating with them in the ocean. Like, the whole movie is just them in the middle of the ocean.
Oh, I have no idea what you're talking about. What movie is this?
Trying to see if I can find it here.
27 Sharks Below.
Open Water.
Open Water, yeah. Okay, now I remember that one.
Okay,
yeah.
Open Water. Wow.
I never saw it, but I heard mixed reviews.
2003. Wow.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. That was like 17 years ago or some shit.
Time flies. And then what else is opening this weekend? I don't know. Oh, Blinded by the Light. It's about some like Indian guys.
Like a douche and a bird in the bird.
It's exactly that. Some Indian guys come to America and then like go over to Jersey and like are really in love with Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, I saw the trailer before Midsummer, and I was not gripped by it, but it looks like people will.
I saw the trailer on TV, and I was just looking at it. I said, it's not horrible, but why? Like, why is this a thing?
And it says it's based on a true story. I was like, all right.
Cool.
There was this Hindu guy that was stalking Bruce Springsteen for years. Let's make a movie. You did see, Zia finally saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I did.
Good for you. I did not see the ending. So what were your thoughts on the movie?
I liked it. I actually really did. The performances were like really good. I really enjoyed
I thought Brad Pitt was great.
Brad Pitt, yes. Brad Pitt was fucking amazing.
When he was on the roof taking the shirt off? Yeah.
My favorite part. Why do you think I was?
He was just good the whole time because, like, usually when someone gets to that level of actor, there's a point in the movie where I'm like, okay, this is still like this person playing this person, but there was definitely like a part where I was just like, yeah, oh yeah, he's this character. I wasn't thinking, oh, it's Brad Pitt as this character. I was seeing him as the character, which is kind of, you know, harder in the later years. It's not like Mission Impossible where Tom Cruise is blank in, you know, it's not like that kind of movie.
I'm glad you said that because I was worried about that too with Brad Pitt. But here's the swerve on it. So I was worried about him it's Brad Pitt playing Brad Pitt in a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yeah.
But at some points, Brad Pitt was playing Matthew McConaughey in parts of this movie.
Kinda.
Because he's like, all right, well, like when he's in the car, there's scenes where he's in that car and he sees the girl by the bus stop and he won't pick her up for the hitchhike and stuff. He's like, nah, like that. Like you can see he's doing Matthew McConaughey as Brad Pitt would do it.
I can see that a little bit. I didn't think that when I watched it, but I get that.
Yeah,
I can see that.
It was funny because I was laughing.
That twang, that like, man, I'm a cool guy, you know, that kind of.
He goes, meh.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Cool
he said,
guy, man,
like a 1920s gangster.
Right before he says he doesn't want to go to jail for pussy. He's like, I don't want to go to jail.
Man, I don't want to go to jail for pussy. See, man. You won't get me, copper. Man.
I got your fucking footprint on my windshield. Man.
But you liked it.
I did. I liked it a lot. I loved the ending. Sorry, Erik was the best part. The payoff to me was so good.
No, please tell me because I did not see it.
Well, I mean, it's.
I heard there's a pool scene
movie.
and a flamethrower.
Just over the top.
It's great. When the flamethrower came out, everyone in the theater collapsed.
Got the clap?
And,
wow.
Yeah, they got the clap. It came through the screen. I got it too.
Yes.
Cool.
Well, it was the 60s.
Wow.
It was a different time.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, that part, everybody clapped and I laughed. I was like, oh yes, this is amazing. I love that gratuitous violence. I really do in movies and shows. So it was good. It was a great payoff. There's one point where Brad Pitt, his character, takes a full, I think it was the dog food, the can of dog food, and throws it at a girl's face and smashes her face in. It was amazing.
See, but like my problem with that was I was like, okay, like this is a cool action scene, but like it wasn't a payoff as far as the plot goes for me. Like it was just like, okay, now he's just like attacking all these people. Yeah, they came into the house, but they didn't really build up why they were doing anything that they were doing. So like to me, it was just like, okay, this is just over the top violence. Like the one girl who was just running around with her arms in the air screaming the whole time, like it was too over the top for me. Like it was like.
Was she
like
waving them like
movie.
she just don't care?
No, it was just like a silent movie where people have to over emote and exaggerate their actions because there's no dialogue. But like, I mean, there's no joke. She's just like,
oh, insane! It
just
was insane.
Screaming at the top of her lungs. It's like, all right,
what's
like,
going on?
Down.
Oh,
tiny bit.
Gotcha.
I think that's what I liked about it. The over the topness. I was like, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that might be probably just like how people feel about certain things. Like if you like that kind of stuff, you'll like it. But if you don't, you're gonna be like, this is so stupid. But I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I think like if they built up more of like the Manson plot line, it would have felt good. But it just kind of felt like two guys the whole time, and then it's just like, oh yeah, we'll just kill these people, and then I guess we're just gonna end now. Like it was kind of weird. I don't know.
It was a very abrupt ending, and how they go over to Sharon Tate's house and she's just alive, and you're like, oh, that's not how that's supposed to end. Yeah, I didn't see it coming.
No, I didn't see it coming, but the thing is, I was like kind of hoping for it. You know what I mean? Like I really thought that like that was like the story that they were gonna tell. And then when they didn't, and it was becoming obvious that they weren't, I was just like, well, what is the point of this movie? And was it just like a self-reflection on getting older in the movie industry and like, you know, looking back to the good old days of how like things used to be? Like I didn't understand like why it was made. I guess that's like my premise. Like I just don't.
Are you talking about?
There wasn't a lot of a plot. There really wasn't much of a plot. You know what I mean? For the whole movie overall,
it just seemed it seemed like a bunch of little stories taped together.
Yeah, it was just a very character-driven thing. But even the characters didn't have nearly as much dialogue as they do in other movies. Like it wasn't even remotely close. But I don't know. I know a lot of people who liked it. I'm definitely like on the outskirts of the people who viewed it and didn't like it.
Well,
but that's just my opinion.
Enough people didn't like it that I heard enough opinions of people being like, it's not that great, that going into it, I actually wasn't sure. Yeah. I don't think you're that in the minority on that.
Yeah, it's just different, you know. I think that's what's so hard about it is you're used to like a Tarantino movie or like him doing a genre picture. Like you're used to like, oh, he's gonna do Kill Bill, he's gonna go over the top and do a samurai movie. Oh, he's gonna do Hateful Eight, he's gonna go over the top and do a Western movie. And it's like, oh, you know, he's gonna do Inglourious Basterds, he's gonna just, you know, do a crazy Nazi movie. And it's like he's gonna do Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, he's gonna maybe tell the story of Sharon Tate, but then not, but then also not have much of another story.
Well, he did that with Inglourious Basterds, you know, the theater and burning the theater at the end for killing Hitler in the movie theater.
But it built up to that.
No,
you know what I mean?
Like, I get that. I'm not talking about the Bill
like
story.
A real ending because it was going towards that.
I'm talking about that he takes real things and then just changes it to fit whatever weird situation he wants to do that. He has a habit of doing that, and that's fine. But you're right. At least in Inglourious Basterds, it led up to the theater.
But you knew that, like, you knew going into Inglourious Basterds that they were probably going to kill Hitler by the end of it. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't going to be a surprise type thing, you know? And I just rewatched that this past weekend, so it's, like, really fresh in my mind. And I feel like I really don't like Once Upon a Hollywood even more after rewatching Inglourious Basterds because it's so good. And, like, the dialogue and, like, the scenes and, like, that tension with Christopher Waltz and, like, all the it's just so good. And then I think about like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and they're like, I didn't have any moments like that where like the closest I had was at when they were at the ranch, and Brad Pitt's going up to the house and everything is like super tense and you don't know what's going to happen, and then everything played out exactly as they said it did. Like the girl was just like, yeah, he's just sleeping until I fuck him later, and then he goes in the back of the room. He's like, what's wrong? He's like, I'm just trying to sleep until she fucks me later, and you're like, okay. Like I don't know, it was just kind of interesting. It was just different.
I was expecting more from that scene also. And that,
but it was really satisfying when he beat the shit out of Tex, when he slashed his tires and he pummeled the shit out of him. Like that was pretty satisfying. I like that. I thought all the tracking shots in the movie were great. Like the horse tracking shot when the girl goes to get the other person, she's like, Tex is in trouble, we need your help. And then, she goes to get Tex because he's at the ranch and the camera's like panning the horse as he's running down through the thing. Like that was a great shot. I thought like there was a cool shot of Brad Pitt driving through traffic where the camera was like catching up to the car, and that was kind of cool. But I don't know. I just didn't know. I don't know what he was really going for with the story.
I get it.
I'm going to send you something that somebody just sent me. And
is it pizza?
No, I wish it was.
Fuck.
Can we have some pizza?
Eric, pizza now.
All right. Chop. No, I'm.
But even.
Click this link that I'm sending you.
Oh, I know it. I know what this is.
Oh, you've seen this?
I've seen this.
This is a Simpsons thing
for Eric.
Okay, I assumed you probably did, but just in case you didn't,
it's a Simpsons.
Somebody took stills of The Simpsons and just recreated Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Ah, wow!
So if you not just this one still that shows, but if you click the link, it shows you everything, and it's the whole progression of like, yep, that pretty much is. And then the one below it is just this girl with dirty feet on the table next to Lisa's food, and she's disgusted. Simpsons.
Oh, yeah. So I guess it depends. Like if the movie working towards like the Manson people like getting killed was good enough, like I think like that's cool. Like it's a movie. Everyone has their own. I like terrible movies. So I will never judge anyone on what they like. Like, you know what I mean? Like I purposely go to see bad movies because I love them. So maybe that's why I don't like good movies. I don't know. But I don't know. There was just something about it just didn't click with me. But I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad like that other people are liking it and that we have like conflicting opinions on it.
Yeah, it's good. It'd be boring if everybody was like, yeah, it's great.
Yeah, like when Dark Knight came out and like every single person was like, this is the greatest movie ever made. It's like, is there any differing opinion? Nope, this is the greatest movie ever made. Like, all right, and then you see it, and you're like, that's pretty good.
That's the problem.
I enjoyed the experience of watching the movie. I don't think like Gittles, I don't think it was overly that good of a movie, but I did enjoy the time of what I got to see of the movie.
Like it was nice to see, like, I mean, it was a big movie, as everyone's saying. Like it was nice to see, like, just like the landscape shots and like all that stuff on the big screen. Like it was really beautiful.
Yeah.
I just thought the story was lacking.
It might have had a lot to do with the performances, but it did keep me captivated through the whole movie. It didn't feel like I was like, oh, this movie's dragging. I was, sitting there and I was interested in everything that was happening throughout all of it.
Yeah, because DiCaprio was good. Even like the little girl that he does the lines with in the movie, she was great. Like that little girl, she had like twice the lines of Margot Robbie, but she was really good. That little like girl, and even like Luke Perry in the like little scene he's in, he was good. Like, Tarantino doesn't cast bad actors.
No,
like the worst actor in the movie would be the girl at the end who was over the top with her arms in the air. I was like, please, just someone really murder that person in real life. Like it took me so far out of it that it was like I couldn't deal with it.
One of the great things with Tarantino's movies, where if you see it in the trailer, you're like, oh, this is kind of cool. But if you just saw it on paper, which is where it all starts, he's got to write the script out, and then when he gets to okay, we're going to produce it, we're going to get production going. All right, let's cast this thing, and then you write down the cast for any of his movies before you see anything. If you saw the thing to Pulp Fiction and it said, wait, Sam Jackson, John Travolta, Uma Thurman, Ving Rhames. Wait, Bruce Willis is in this? Is he the star? No, he's a very minor character. What?
Yeah, and what year is this? Like 92?
Yeah, who's the star of this thing?
What? Who
John Travolta. John Travolta? Really?
Last good movie he was in.
Yeah, that's the fun thing about his movies. If you look on paper at who he casts, like Gittles said, he doesn't cast bad actors, but if you look on paper, before you see anything, you go, this doesn't make any fucking sense. And then
or
when you watch
give him
it,
the benefit of the doubt, where you'll be like, oh, I don't know about that actor, but if Tarantino's picking him, he must have saw something for this role, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Wait,
you know what I mean?
This Reservoir Dogs movie you're going to make, Chris Penn? Why didn't we get Sean Penn? No, trust me, Chris Penn will work. Okay, you must have a vision. And there it was.
I just rewatched that again like 2 weeks ago.
You're going to shoot my daddy! Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've seen that one.
Speaking of old movies that I haven't seen in a long time, I haven't gone to the theater in a couple weeks because I've been busy, but I saw the Naked Gun trilogy. I
love the Naked Gun
I do
trilogy.
Too. So, and I learned...
Dyslexia for cure found.
So, I see it on demand. It's the 3-pack for the movies. I said, oh, this is great. I'll just watch... I'll watch one now and I'll watch the others another day. And I wound up watching all 3 back to back to back. And they were still back in the day when a movie was 90 minutes or under. So it really, you could fit it in a night and not feel like you've wasted your time, right? So the first one, total classic. So many lines that I forgot that I knew, but as the dialogue was coming, I remembered and was mouthing the lines as they were going. One of my favorite scenes is when he's off the ledge and he breaks the dick off the statue. And then, the lady's screaming in the room. And then they cut to the captain reading off the charges. This, that, sexual assault with a concrete dildo. And he's like, I can explain that one. Like, it was so fucking funny, the one-liners, and that they're all not aware, but they are aware. Like, somebody else will say a weird line, and all the characters do this. Like, their eyes kind of dart around. They're like, how do we react to that? And then they do something equally as stupid or say something as equally dumb, and then the other character's like, does he know he said that? Like, everybody doesn't realize that everybody else is dumb in these movies. It's so much fun. The fucking fireworks scene. Nothing to see here. Disperse. Nothing's going on. Meanwhile, the fireworks place is blown up and they're all launching. All these dumb little sight gags. I miss movies like this, like Airplane. It all fits in that genre. They don't do that anymore.
They don't. The closest you can get was that Angie Tribeca show that was on TBS for a little bit, where it was just like that very literal, like, humor jokes. It was very Naked Gun. Other than that, there's not a lot of that just straight in your face.
I'm wondering
literal jokes.
I'm wondering if that could even fly now. Not as far as the people won't tolerate, but I'm saying, will the humor miss on people?
I think it does, to be honest, because I've seen stuff recently. Just even looking back on it, and I'm like, yeah, this is funny because I grew up with it, but I don't think that this would work now. I don't know. I just don't know if people are into that kind of, Shirley, you can't be serious. Yes, I am serious. Don't call me Shirley. That kind of joke. You know what I mean?
Or the fact that Drebin, every time he parks his car, he hits something. Like that's an ongoing gag. Or the fact that Weird Al shows up in every one of those movies. You know, that there's these if you saw all of them, that you know, all right, stuff from the first movie is in the second movie, is in the third movie. Like what they're Easter eggs now. But it was just weird little bits of continuation or continuity in this trilogy that wasn't really done until these guys did it. And they were always very corny movies. I remembered seeing 2 and 3 in the theater, you know, and I'm watching these movies with a fondness, and look, the third one's not the best, but you can still appreciate it in the whole world of these movies. And if you never seen them, you're doing yourself a disservice. Go sit down and watch these movies. And Airplane, maybe not the second one, but the first one at least.
Yeah, like
I miss this
genre. Airplane 2 is terrible. Airplane 1 is brilliant.
I miss this genre of slapstick where they were going for the obvious joke, they were going for the brutal joke, and they were not trying to get anything smart past you. It was, we were going to do all this childish, heinous stuff. One of my favorite scenes in Airplane, where they're talking about, man, the shit's really going to hit the fan. Cut to the fan, and then the shit hits it, and it transitions into the controller.
Literally hits the fan.
Like that. Yeah, that's the kind of shit that I'm talking about. Pun.
And then it hits the fan.
Yeah. I wish they'd bring that genre back.
That'd be good. I have literally not seen those since I was like a kid. It might. Yeah, I think you might be right. It's time for a rewatch.
If what did I say? If you have I don't know if you have Showtime or not.
No, I don't think so.
All right. Well, they're on Showtime on demand right now. For anybody out there, it's like, you know what? I think I may want to go watch the Naked Gun movies. They're up there. Go check them out. But otherwise, you know, I think they're in the $5 bin at Walmart. All 3 movies are, you know, together. You could get it fairly cheap. But it was just so nice to go back to a time of movies where it was a bit simpler, but all they were trying to do was just write funny dialogue and funny sight gags. That was it. Like, here's the story. It's a very simple story. Go from here to here. That's it. Well, that's too simple a story. No, all these funny things are going to happen in there, so you don't notice how simple and short the story actually is. Sometimes you want, I guess it's like comfort food. You know, you want those kind of movies where late at night, you don't want to watch a movie that you're really going to love because then you're invested in it. Now I'm not going to be able to fall asleep because I need to watch this thing. Or you're not going to start it. Yeah.
Background shit.
Yeah, you want background shit. It's just something to make you laugh and that's goofy when you're seeing OJ falling down the stairs in the wheelchair at the baseball stadium, and he hits the railing, goes flying over, and you see that it's a dummy. Like, they don't even try to hide the stunt doubles or the dance doubles. When they cut real quick, you can see it's just people with bad wigs in their same outfits. Like, they don't hide any of that stuff.
That's great.
But like Gittles loves these old movies. He loves old bad movies, and Gittles just saw something recently.
I was. I have. I don't know if you guys use the app Crackle. Crackle is a free app that lets you watch basically B and C movies for free. So I watch them. I use it all the time, and it's just terrible movies. Every once in a while, you'll be going through like, oh, that's actually like a really good movie. Like, they have a couple of good movies on there, but most of them are terrible. And I was skipping through the other day, and I was looking for Drop Dead Fred, and they didn't have Drop Dead Fred. So
no more Drop Dead Fred.
Dude, I need to see it because it's a very controversial episode of How Did This Get Made that came out like 2 weeks ago. And everyone's been talking about it because they're like, no, you're either with the girl or you're with the crazy person. Like, there's no in between. So I need to re-see the movie.
I know people that are in this movie, and all they're doing is they're on the radio. They were legit radio guys here in New York that they used them as on the radio in the movie. And I remember back when I was a kid listening to them, they were all about, we're in the Drop Dead Fred movie. Yeah. That's before they realized that it was not the movie. And the guy who plays Drop Dead Fred is from The Young Ones.
Wasn't Yahoo Serious? Was it
No. It's I'm forgetting his name, and I'm gonna look it up. But Zia, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say Drop Dead Fred is not, unless I'm just mixing this up with something else. Is that the kid that has the really weird voice?
No, Drop Dead Fred is like the girl who's like got mental health issues, and she has an imaginary friend named Fred that follows her around.
Who's not a good influence on her. No, you're talking about he was a Nickelodeon guy, wasn't he, Fred?
Yeah, my little brother was really into that, and I was like,
I think that's different.
And his dad's like John Cena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something super weird.
Yeah, he was a weird dude. I know they sped up his voice, and he did all these weird things. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
No, but Drop Dead
so
Fred came out in 1991. I thought it was Winona Ryder, but it's Phoebe Cates.
Yeah,
I couldn't remember.
Cates.
So it's Phoebe Cates. Fred was Rick Mayall or Mayall, if I'm pronouncing that right. He was in The Young Ones. He was what was his name? Was he Rick in The Young Ones? Looking. He was Rick. He was Rick in The Young Ones. There, he was the punky looking guy who had the spike collar and the spiked hair and the denim jacket. That's a show long before Zia's time, but
yeah, I have never seen that.
it was like a counterculture British sitcom that came on was played on MTV back in the early days of MTV. If you like British sitcoms or British comedy stuff, it's definitely something you should go back and watch. The theme song's pretty catchy, and it's just about all these different guys that live in a flat and then just dealing with being, lower class society in London.
I would be into that. I just finished watching Spaced, and that show's freaking great.
Spaced is awesome.
So
I
good.
love Spaced. I quote Spaced like all the time. Every time I'm walking around, I'm just constantly quoting Spaced.
Nice.
Like almost more than The Simpsons.
I think it's a genius show. It only got like 2 seasons?
Yeah, it only got
That's
2
all I watched?
seasons.
Yeah, that sucked.
And if you see Spaced and you like Spaced, obviously you should see Shaun of the Dead.
Yes,
because there's the one scene where they run into the cast of Spaced.
Well, not only that, just the fact that if you watch any of those Edgar Wright movies after watching Spaced, like completely, you'll get so many more jokes because there's just so many like hidden jokes. Like in Shaun of the Dead, when he calls, he's like, "It's not my girlfriend," and it's got Nick Frost. He's like, "Hey, baby," like that's a line from Spaced. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's so many different gags that have been reused and retold throughout his movies from that show.
Oh, so, I'm gonna have to go
Spaced
back.
is fucking great. I keep saying
so
they did one more season of Spaced, I'd be so happy. Like, just do it in the future, like 10 years down the line. Like, have Daisy. Maybe she moves in with Jen from IT Crowd, and they become roommates. This is a show I've been pitching in my head for a while because I think they'd be like, oh yeah, Daisy, Jen, and Fran from Black Books all as roommates. I think that'd be a great show.
There you go. You figured it out. Season 3.
By the way,
yeah, I would watch that.
Off note. Fran from Black Books.
Yes.
Have you seen Black Books, by the way, Zia?
No, I haven't.
All right, this is a franchise. It's only 3 seasons, and they're short. Black Books is a series that Gittles and I, for the longest time, were the only 2 people that I knew that knew this show and loved it. Because I forgot the girl who plays Fran, but then it's Dylan McDermott and Bill Bailey. Is it Bill Bailey?
Dylan McDermott?
No.
Bill
I said,
Bailey.
what was his name?
Dylan Moran.
Dylan Moran. Sorry.
Moran.
Dylan Moran and Bill Bailey, who is another really hysterical British comic.
Like Dylan Moran is the annoying boyfriend in Shaun of the Dead, like the really shitty like nerd boyfriend. But his stand-up and the character that he's actually closer to is his character on Black Books, which is a drunken alcoholic bookstore owner where he just like a really crass, in-your-face, like just insult you. Doesn't give a shit.
Oh, I got to check this out. It's also the actress from Episodes.
Yes. Well, that's what I was going to get. What's her name?
Let me see.
Well, anyway, Fran from Black Books. She's also in Episodes. There's another series. I think it's either on Amazon or Netflix, called The Green Wing. It's about a hospital. And it's Fran and the guy who plays her husband in Episodes are in this show together. I think there's only 2 seasons of it.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of other people show too. Michelle Gomez, who we've had on the show before, who plays Missy on Doctor Who. She's currently on Sabrina, the Teenage Witch, or was it Chilling Adventures of Sabrina on Netflix. She's the administrator.
That's awesome.
At the hospital. All these people, these weird ensembles, are on this show, The Green Wing. So if you can find that too, we're giving you a lot of homework of stuff to watch.
Yeah, I need to watch all of this stuff now. That's awesome.
Look, you're going to start getting into not you. You're not going to get the snow, but when we go into the winter, it's when we hibernate and start watching all of this stuff nonstop.
Yeah, there's not any real winters here. Although I will say, people make fun of me all the time for being cold, but like, dude, I'm small and I'm from the tropics. I get cold when winter hits here.
Right.
Like it's 50 degrees. That's friggin' freezing.
Well, now's your time to stay in. But I do have to get back to Gittles watching Crackle, these B-level movies. What was this horrible movie that you watched?
Oh yeah, they didn't have Drop Dead Fred, so I was still in the D's. And I saw a movie that was on there that I have not seen in a very long time. Actually, I have not seen it since it came out. It's a little movie called Double Team, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dennis Rodman. And they are, it's just a terrible movie. And Dennis Rodman cannot act. Every single one of his lines is a reference to basketball. Everything he does is a reference to basketball. The whole movie is ridiculous. There's a scene where he jumps out of a plane without a parachute, and Jean-Claude Van Damme flies and catches up to him because he doesn't have a parachute. And then Dennis Rodman turns into a basketball and just lands on the ground and rolls away. Like, it's so fucking stupid. But you can watch it for free on Crackle if you have the app. And maybe you'll finish it. I couldn't finish it, and I usually finish most movies, but I got like 20 minutes from the end, and I was like, this is just an endurance test at this point. Like, this is an hour and a half movie, and I feel like I've been watching it for like 6 hours. And so I couldn't do it, but it's definitely terrible, and you should watch it if you want to see some stupid shit, but it's not a good movie.
The only other names I recognize in this movie, one is Mickey Rourke.
Yeah, he's like one of the leads.
And then the other one is Paul Freeman, who I know from, this is going to be the dumbest thing, but he was in Raiders of the Lost Ark, but he was also in Hot Fuzz. He was the Reverend in Hot Fuzz. So, I look, I'm going to just take your word for it, Gittles. This is the movie I'm not going to watch.
It's terrible. Like, it's not good. It just starts, and it just starts going into things. Like, you don't know characters. There's really not a plot. It's like this guy, Jean-Claude Van Damme, and his character, and he's trying to retire, but he just has to do one more job to get his freedom. And then he goes to get his job, and he has to go meet up with Dennis Rodman, who works in some weird sex club in Amsterdam, and just all he constantly says is, they got a good defense. You know what we need? We need a good offense. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up. And he'd be like, dude, we're going into overtime. And it's like, dude, shut up. And it's like, oh, it looks like the ref is here. I'm like, dude, shut up. Like, that was me the whole time watching this movie. I'm like, please shut up.
Your
like,
roommates are knocking on the door. Who are you yelling at? The television.
I'm yelling at the television. Who's on TV? Dennis Rodman. It's 1997. Shut up.
Hey, what did we do? Shut up. Shut the door.
It's terrible.
Shut up and shut the door.
Yeah, shut everything. Shut up. Shut the TV.
They knew who they got in that movie, though. Basketball is his thing, and they freaking ran with it.
They tried. Yeah. They tried so hard. It's terrible. But I only, the other reason why I stopped was because there's a How Did This Get Made episode on it from like a couple of years ago that I never listened to. And I'm going to try and listen to it. I couldn't get through the movie, but I can get through the podcast. So
if I can find
Drop Dead Fred, if you want
B&C
movies, Crackle is where you need to be.
If I can find Drop Dead Fred somewhere for you, I'll let you know. So you can.
Also, you know what else they have on Crackle? They have the complete series of The Critic. So I watched all The Critic after I stopped watching Double Team, and it was great. Oh, it's a horribly aged show. The jokes don't work anymore, but I love it.
I love this feature of Brian having to watch a bad movie and then report it to us and tell us all about this horrible movie.
They're terrible movies, Eric. So I watched nothing but shit.
So you got to watch another bad one for next week. Because I love this feature. I don't know. You pick. It's all up to you. You tell us and surprise us with what movie that you watched.
All right, I'll go through Crackle. I'll see what I can find.
Ever since you did that Johnny Mnemonic,
something else on there.
Yeah, ever since you did that Johnny Mnemonic movie, a couple of months ago, actually.
Yeah, it was a couple of months ago. The fucking dolphin.
I've really been in love with the fact that you're watching these horrible movies and just discussing about having to describe what these movies were and what you watched.
I just feel like people worked on it. Like, and this is my thought process while I'm watching this movie. Is like I'm like sitting there, I'm watching this with a friend. I'm like, you know what? Like, you know what? And this is what I said. I was like, you know what? They had to have craft services on this. Like that shot that was like 2 seconds. They planned that shot out. Like my brain just melted thinking of all the people who had to plan everything to make this piece of shit that like it ended up being, and like all those jobs and all those things and like all those contracts people had to sign to make this pile of shit. And that's what goes through my head when I watch these movies. It's just like there was some guy in craft services there who was like, "Would you like extra Cheerios today, Mr. Van Damme?" He's like, "Fuck you." You know what I mean? Like that guy was there. He had to do that to make this movie, and I find that just fascinating.
That's all right. You definitely have to do this every week now. You have to have one bad movie that you've watched.
Okay, I mean, I can do that. I watch a lot of bad movies.
So we can get out of
If
here.
anyone has requests, just tweet them at me at Gittlebase. Bad movies, I will watch it.
As we skim through this to get out of here, just the updates of what's going on. We flip over. Nothing really movie-wise is happening until the fall. But as far as streaming goes, Glow Season 3 is out now on Netflix. I actually enjoy that franchise. I have not watched the third season yet. I have not started it. Gittles is finishing The Boys. He's not done with it yet.
I'm like 2 episodes from the end, and I fucking love it. It's so good.
So
it's
let's-
like one of the best shows.
So let's let you finish that, and then next week we'll talk about it.
Yeah, it's really good. If you guys have Amazon Prime and you haven't watched it yet, like seriously, get on board. It is a really good, dark satire comedy about superheroes and contracts and, what was it? Collateral damage support groups and lots of different things. It's a great show.
And I'll say this. That damn dolphin is back.
Yo, I laughed so hard.
I
at that
did
dolphin
too.
Scene. I was dying on the couch.
I'll just say this. The slow motion when eye contact is made. That whole scenario, because I had a feeling where it was going, but it also felt the way that it felt a little bit like Hitchhiker's Guide. Yes, exactly.
When the whale and the plant are falling and they have the same thought at the same time.
Yes, see, this is why I love Gittles. We're on the same page. A couple other things. Rocco's Modern Life. If you were ever a fan of that show or watched it, the new one. It's sort of a movie-ish.
I saw it.
Is out on Netflix right now, called Rocco's Modern Life Static Cling. We had a couple of the guys who do the voice. I think we had everybody who did the voices on that.
We had everyone. When we were down in SuperCon, we had Carlos Alazraqui who did the voice of Rocco.
Right.
And I got to say, like rewatching it, all the voices sound exactly the same as they did. The animation is the same and the jokes are the same. It is fantastic to watch a cartoon with so much adult humor in it again, where it's just like, wow, they just put this out. And then the problem that I thought of is the target audience was not alive when this came out. So they're basically like hoping that people who watch the show will watch it with their kids now. Yeah, but it's good. I enjoyed it.
We had Carlos on the show. We had Charlie Adler on the show too. The only one we didn't get was Tom Kenny because he was busy at the time.
He was busy.
But yeah, so Rocco's Modern Life out on
45
Netflix.
minutes. It's fun. They joke a lot about like nostalgia and just like going back to old days. So I thought that was kind of fun, like a fun little touch on society. It's good. Check it out.
Go watch that. And then for those who I still have yet to see this, but The Dark Crystal, the sequel.
Is it a series or is it a movie?
It's a prequel series.
Oh, it's a series.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That sounds terrifying.
Yeah. Well, I've never seen any of them, but this is a prequel. I wasn't aware of a prequel. I thought it was a sequel to all of this. But The Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance comes out on Netflix on August 30th. So you have that to look forward to for next week. And then maybe we'll touch on this next week and go a little bit more in depth. But I just found out that NBC is developing a series based on the movie St. Elmo's Fire.
Elmo knows where you live.
Wrong Elmo. St. Elmo's Fire
is he going to have the song St. Elmo's Fire as the theme song?
I'm sure it will.
We're listening to right now. Right. That great song.
Yeah, it's based on what was dubbed the Brat Pack movies of the 80s. So if you haven't seen that movie, that's another movie you're going to have to go to because it's all about yuppies. Yeah. And their life is so hard and everything's so difficult. And then St. Elmo's Fire, really bad song.
That is one I've never seen.
I would like to say you're not missing anything, but it's good to be in the know, especially if they're going to reboot things like this or make spin-off sequel, or if this is just an interpretation of the movie. I don't know what it is. And this, of course, all just kills time until Rick and Morty comes back in November.
Oh, guess where it's available? On Crackle.
St. Elmo's Fire?
Apparently, that's what it's telling me right here.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, Crackle has like 1,000 movies. You could just go on there, and they're all just movies you've never heard of. And then the ones you have heard of, you're like, oh, that was pretty bad. But sometimes there's good ones, but it's worth it. Like, there's some good stuff on there. It's a free app. Do it. You just have to deal with like a 15-second commercial every 25 minutes or so. It's not bad.
Well, that's not bad.
All right,
I think that's where it went to go see to watch news radio. was on Crackle, I think. If
I love
remember
News
correctly.
Radio.
Yeah, I think it has it because Married with Children's on there, but they didn't get all the rights to use the music, so they have to use a Muzak version of Love and Marriage, and it's kind of funny.
Yep, I have the box set. It's horrible. So all right, well, let's watch St. Elmo's Fire for next week if we all can. If not, that's fine. But let's try to do that if we can be so kind. All right, we need to get out of here. Let's do the plugs. Gittles, what do you have?
Gittlebase on the Twitter, Instagram, Xbox Live, and coming soon, the final update. I will be starting my Twitch cooking show in September.
Yay! Finally,
They finally got things worked out here, so it's going to be nice. So look for that probably like mid-September-ish or so.
Cool. Zia, what do you have?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Zia_land. It's spelled XIA_land. Also on Marvel TV Weekly and Marvel Movie News. You can find that on YouTube, AfterBuzz TV. And I do a lot of stuff for Geek Bomb, too. We have a lot of stuff going up on YouTube, so if you want to go give them some love there, that would be awesome.
And what's the P.O. box for everyone to send gifts to you?
Oh, God.
No,
I
I'm
should have
kidding.
had
Don't
that
worry
with me.
about that.
I was like, it's somewhere. It's P.O. Box 571, but somewhere here. I don't have the address.
Send it to the P.O. box here for Zia, and we'll
Yeah.
make sure that she gets all of that fun stuff. For me, it's E-Rock Radio across the board, but more importantly, the show. It's Erik Nagel across the board on social media. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube if you want to leave messages to use on future shows. 651-SMITHERS is the phone number, 651-764-8437. And with that being said, we need to get out of here. So until the next time, everybody.
Be excellent to each other.
And have a wonderful time.
And we'll be seeing you.
See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya.
It's Erik Nagel.
You are giving a woman money in order to obtain physical affection. We're talking about the world's oldest profession. Granted, this is the Walt Disney version.
Alas, we're out of time.
Follow It's Erik Nagel on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. For ways to listen to the show, go to itseriknagel.com. And remember to tell two friends so they can tell two friends.
And they can tell two friends.
They can tell two
And those
friends.
two friends
And
can tell
those
two
two
friends.
friends can tell two more friends.